is up, you guys? Please go ahead and type in those A's in the chat. If you can hear your boy speak, please go ahead and type in those A's. What is good, family? What is good? Good to be here. Good to see you. Hello, 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 hello. And we have an image. What's up, fam? What's up? What's up? Go ahead and get those tunes up. Oh, yeah. You can hear me speak. Mark Roach, what is good? How's it going? Rosie Gray Glasses, what's up, you guys? Shake, how's it going, man? Jeff, Frank. Oh, yeah, man. Sebastian, what is good, dude? Look at your ticker right here, man. AVTX doing its little dance, man. Tarvok, what's up? What's up? What's up? 93, good to see you here. Andrew, Yarline, always good to see you guys, man. What is good? What is good? Hey, Damon, Scott, how's it going? Nice. Welby, what? Que pasa, Welby? Could it be fulfilled? We're going to go ahead and take a look at that right away, my friend. Let me just give a quick little touchdown here on AVTX because this is currently making its move. Now, how about the audio compared to yesterday? It's loud enough this time, right? Like we have an okay amount of volume this time, or what, you guys? This man again with that 666. Hey, James, how's it going? What's up, Samuel? Yeah, that target, man. Ernie, what is good? Kitties, how's it going? Green Mountain, hello, hello. What's up, Frank? All right, good. Yeah, yesterday I felt like it just had a little bit of low volume. But this time around, it sounds like we have plenty of gain. Zephram, what's up, dude? 440 for fingers? No one knows. Damn, so AVTX, let's see. Showing a little bit of weakness here on a 30-minute time frame. Let's maybe pull up an immediate short term as well. Very curious downside there. As this thing is just getting slammed out of nowhere. How do you just go from bullish to bearish in a matter of a second, right? Yeah, those are the mind games of the man behind the curtain. That's right. No, dude. No, man. No. Okay, so yeah, let me go ahead and take a look at the micro time frames to see if there's anything fishy going on here, man. So, I mean, 5-day time frame is 5-minute time frame is incredibly indecisive. We have some upside pivots on RSI. We have a downside pivot on stochastics, and we have outgoing cash. How is this upside, right? So, I think AVTX is going through a midlife crisis right now, team. Something is going down with this ticker, and who knows what it is. But the good thing is that the 10-minute time frame is using this SMA 14 as a support, right? It's bouncing to the upside. It's approaching the gravitational zone here with a bullish crossover on the MACD. The 10-minute seems to make a little more sense here too, since we have inbound cash. The cash flow is definitely inbound on this, and we have, I guess, arguably speaking, we definitely have like an upside here on stochastics with expansion. So let's move along to the 15-minute time frame. Sebastian, give me the news right now, bro. Are you long? Are you long this right now, or are you trying to open long on this? 15-minute time frame, clean upside pivot on stochastics with expansion happening right now, except that the RSI is showing some weakness. Dude, the morning volatility is incredible for this. Wow. Damn, Joel, again? SECO was the one that I think Sebastian asked me to look at it yesterday or something, man. Total miss. And then it just ripped. Damn. Oh my goodness. Danielle Spears, good to see you here. Oh, so TTO is making its we spoke about it yesterday, right? We spoke about the potential of it breaking market structure by consolidating at that low. Even TTO pumping. Dude, I'm very curious. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and take a look at that. But I'm very curious over what's happening here with AVTX, though. So, Sebastian, please let me know in the chat if you are currently long. And, yeah, we're coming up. TTO coming up to that resistance, 829 to 899. Oh, damn. I'm a little afraid over what you're saying there, Welby. Let's see. You're talking. Oh, right. So we have. Did it actually? Let me see. Another time frame here. Sebastian, you're long at 15. Got it. Okay, let me go ahead and go back to that. Just a sec, team. I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at that. Check this out. This is kind of like the glimmer of hope here. The SMA 14 on the RSI 15-minute, it's actually at support right now, which means that it could be the EMA 21 on the 15-minute time frame that's currently holding price action to the upside. I mean, look at the stochastic momentum on the 15-minute time frame. Definitely love that we're on an upside pivot here in the bullish control zone. We also have that support from the SMA 14 that we just spoke about of the RSI. Some expansion happening, and price action is essentially rejecting that bottom side. So if we did find a support, it would be in respect to the bottom side that we looked at 1679 to the EMA 21 presently, right at 1668. So let's see this range here, because I'm not sure if this range was actually something that we were waiting for an upside. Something tells me that that's what it is, though. Oh, we resisted already from the 7. Yeah, so 1752 to 1803 already fulfilled. Oh my goodness, dude. MACD still favoring the upside. I honestly feel, Sebastian, that this thing is. I mean, it feels like it's just validating a support. Before continuing to the upside. Hey Jasper, how's it going? Sasquatch, what is good? What's up, Steve? No way. Mark Roach, is it just Oh no, dude. That's the first time I saw you just super pissed at it. Sebastian, I feel like it's in the validation process of a support right now. Right, so dude, I mean, it's failing it though, right? So let me see. The 30-minute time frame does have, dude, if it closes like this on the 30-minute, that's not the best thing in the world, right? This is a shooting star. But dude, this is a tough one. I want to say that it's bullish because if it closes this 30-minute candle in 4 minutes, let me see the hourly. Yeah, the hourly candle closing upside of these moving averages. I mean, that's a very bullish statement, especially if we can close upside of the 1679. That still would leave me a little. I mean, it would leave me feeling weird because of this thing acting like a shooting star. It could also technically be an inverted hammer since we have a downside here, right? Except that the only thing that's kind of stopping me for that, this is my confusion here, that we have this wick moving towards the upside here, and then we're building this inverted hammer, or I mean, the thing is, yeah, that's my point, is that we have an upside here, and then it's a potential shooting star. Let's take a look at that, bro. Let's take a look at the, oh, you know what else we can do? Yes, hold on. Yeah, let me do this real quick. I'm going to pull up the linear regression lines on this and see what's up. That could give us a pretty good hint over what's happening. Oh, dude, yeah. Let me see the bi-hourly time frame, getting very close to that closure. Oof. You see what I'm seeing, Sebastian? 3 minutes, 6 seconds underneath the mid-band here of the bi-hourly time frame linear regression. That is making me feel like this thing is going to play for short in just a few minutes. Because if it closes underneath this, if it closes underneath this mid band, then it would be playing the downside. Also, check this out: the bi-hourly resisted at the top band here. Dude, I would be careful with this one. I almost want to say that if I feel like it's going to play for short, and it probably is going to come back down to 1588. Oh, dude. Sebastian, are you there, bro? Oh my goodness, dude. Yeah, it's showing an enormous amount of weakness, dude. I would that would be a bi-hourly bearish engulfing in 2 minutes, dude. If it closes beneath if it closes beneath 1648, huge bearish engulfing. If you are there, Seb, I would be careful with this one, dude. Damn, 1 minute 48. This is a huge gamble, dude. The thing is, remember, if it doesn't print out the bearish engulfing, it's still going to close beneath the mid band. And it already faced the resistance. I'm not sure if you're still there, buddy, but that is presently what I am seeing. What's up, Kevin? ¿Qué pasión contigo? Philip, what is good? Good to see you guys here. Hey, Zen. Jasper, what's up? 1 minute, 20 seconds. You're not in you're not in AVTX M9. Good. I feel like this thing is actually going to play a downside play here. Man, yeah, it's a little confusing, man. It's so volatile right now. The condition here is two different types of bearish happening right now, right? It's a potential bearish engulfing and also the resistance grab on top. I need to know. Sebastian, are you there, buddy? Let me know if you are there. I want to make sure that you can safely exit the market if that's the case, dude. The condition is about to meet here in 29 seconds. Let me go ahead and type you in somewhere else. That's how many seconds left? We have 9 seconds left. Oof, 9 seconds, 4 seconds left for a bearish engulfing and underneath the mid band. Dude, I think this is going to play downside here, man. Be careful. I think it's going to pass the mid band here. Gotcha. Yes. Let me pull that one up too. Okay, good deal. Let me, Yeah, dude, this thing is actually moving, man. All right, so anyway, team, let me take a look at, I hope you can get out safely, Seb. We'll observe the play again a little later upon a better potential entry, right? It's just feeling a little weak right now. The morning volatility is really kind of favoring the downside right now. And I'm not sure that it's going to go on forever. To be honest, I think it could find a temporary support at 1588. And that could lead to a bounce all the way to 1624. And I know it must be hard to dump. Oof, nice. Yeah, if we can get a resistance at least at 1647, that'd be a good little exit there, right? Keep your eyes peeled, my brother. I'm here if you need me. Okay, so FNGR, nice. It is actually at 6. Is this present? 670. All right. And looks like it already had a top side of about 676. Where did it come down to? That's a low of 641. No, M9, he actually replied to me in the Discord. I imagine there's so much volatility right now. The limit orders may be. It's a little difficult to catch the limit orders when there's high volatility. I'm telling you, man, that's something that I spoke to retail about not too long ago, about what could be done when you're experiencing a short squeeze. you know, you're thinking you're just gonna press the sell button. You know, of course, you know, that's all good and dandy, right? But when you're experiencing moments of high volatility, the spread becomes really wide, right? So you're gonna have the bid all the way very low and the ask very high. You're gonna have an enormous gap between the bid and ask spread. So if you hit market order on a slow execution platform, you're kind of putting your pants down there, right? So meaning that you're gonna allow the broker to give you the value of sale. So meaning that they have the option here to fill you at the crappy end of the bid and ask. So if this thing is riding at $100 and you're pressing sell at market, they could technically fill you at 40 if the bid is way down there. And now say that you don't hit the market, right? You would probably hit the limit. So then you're saying limit order at this price. But with high volatility, that limit sell or buy could be skipped entirely, right? So those are some things to kind of keep in mind here, because it's gonna be a double-edged sword there when and if actually we experience a high volatility squeeze, even into a gamma ramp. So those things are very important to kind of keep in mind or bear in mind when trading an asset like this, right? So let's continue on the analysis here and see what's up. Okay, so we're kind of still riding on this consolidation. I think I did speak about. Oh, is that what you meant, Welby? I was talking about the potential of getting down here at about 643 again, right? Of course, we still have this bottom side $6, but I think I did speak about coming down to the 643 zone. The range here before a bounce. I mean, it was a pretty nice bounce here from 643 to 667. So let's see what else this thing has in line. I have the whole thesis up here, so it's this is going to be good for us, or at least it's a benefit for us. Let's see, part of the sweep measure, measures aimed at stopping Beijing from getting cutting-edge U.S. technologies to strengthen its military. Dude, wow. Buzz Margin Call, what is good, my bro? Yeah, you know what? I can do that, and we'll also take a look at I forgot which one was being set ARNAS, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and look at that one, right? And because this was asked right before you, right, my brother? Let me go ahead and take a look at this real quick and see, and also load up what was it again? Let's see. AGRI, right? AGRI. Okay, nice. So let's give this a quick look. Okay, let's see. So let's go down to the at least up actually to the daily time frame here. Damn, facing some serious weakness here. Oh, it got that resistance level. I just didn't expect this to be so damn bearish. Wow. Woo. Super rejection from this area here. Oh man. Okay, a 4-hour bearish engulfing with a shooting star printed. Man, this is probably gonna face some more downside, and but the thing is that it's at support right now. Yeah, it is at a support. Hold on, let's see. This is a little tricky here. Why is it at a support? Let's see. Resistance of the SMA 100 and 200 on the 15 and 30. Oh my goodness. Okay, so there may be a short-term bounce here. this thing was set to continue though. That was very bullish. It just got shorted like crazy. Let's see this. Let's see if we can kind of catch the play here. 5-minute time frame. Momentum is consolidating. 15-minute time frame consolidation. Let's see the 30. RNAS? Yeah. Let me just look at this one. Came in before, buddy. This one came in before you. Let me just. He asked me twice about like 10 minutes ago, and that's why I left it right here next to RNAS. No, not a problem, buddy. It's just the guy. You know, he came in and asked me twice, and I felt bad that I haven't looked at it just yet. But I got you next. No, not a problem, dude. Not a problem. So yeah. So here this is the short-term upside that I'm talking about, right? It could make its way up to 44.20, but touching down. Here's the thing, right? When I look for a short play or a long play, it just depends on the closure of the candle in relation to the moving average. So in this case here, the hourly candle and the 30-minute candle closed beneath two major moving averages. So the hourly closed beneath the 100. This would be my validation for entry short, right? So and this would, you know, make its way down to a relative target. In this case, the support level could be I'd say anywhere between actually it probably would be here at this range here. I'd say 42.90 to 42.47, and that would be the invalidation zone right here. So if we start closing an hourly candle beneath this area here, then, which would be the 42.35, slightly lower than this candle here, that would then introduce a continuation to the downside, which would be a range starting from 41.36 to around 41.06. But this was a validation for a short play. And your first area of support would be down here. So if there's going to be a bounce to be faced, it would be from this area here. So if you could face a temporary bounce, and it may want to reach this as a resistance validation, which would be 43.99, 43.99 to, I'd say, about 43.56. So that could be an area for a potential, you know, like get out. But this is definitely a short play. If it switches bullish, that's going to be out of freaking nowhere. But yeah, dude, I feel like this is going to continue to the downside here. This is actually right here, right now. That would be an area to consider getting the hell out of this, right? Those bounces there, like if you can try to catch those are people trying to get out the market. You know, bouncing up to those areas of resistances at 43.80, 43.80, 43.87. Those are, I'm not sure how many times they can do that, right? But that would be incredible for you to get out the market if you're long, or slow your rate of loss down, right? So if you still feel conviction for the play, then you know, you can always just remove like 30-40% from this. Anil, what is good? How's it going? SECO is up 27% again, man. So Finger looks like she's hungry and may have missed breakfast, right? Damn it. Okay, yeah, man, it really wants to grab this support. I would be very careful here, my brother. There's still like 48 minutes left to close the hourly candle, and still 18 minutes left to close the 30-minute candle. So, but overall, I do expect the downside to continue here. You got it, M9, no problem. Microsoft owes billions to the IRS, and last night on the news, they announced layoffs. It's going to get crazy. I agree. Let's go ahead and just put that up so we can look at AGRI. That's going to be MSFT, right? And honestly, that could be a bullish thing. Very, very, very bullish thing that they're going to do layoffs. Because that's what the Fed wants. Good to see you here, my brother. AGRI, let's take a look at this. Okay, so it feels like it's moving incredibly slow. Let me pull up the screener here and zero everything out, make sure that I don't have any metrics up there, right? So AGRI. Let's see. Oof. Yeah, that's very, very, very low ATR. You have an average true range of 65 cents. It's a slow mover. Let me see the 10-day average in volume. 351,000. Woo. Okay, and also a $3 asset at that. It looks like it's building a pennant. If I can give you some quick little thingy things there. Let me see the daily actually. Yikes, man. I mean, this would be... I know it still has a while to go. 5 hours, 46 minutes left. I mean, if AGRI closes anywhere like this, that is extremely bearish. But, oh, and seeing that, oh, it attempted to close its gap. It almost did, but it's still left a little bit up there. Okay, let's... daily time frame has a massive resistance right up here, and it's in the gravitational zone. That would pull us down. Stochastics are incredibly oversold. Okay, there is cash coming in. So let me look at this now on the 4 hour. Let's see what's up. It just launched the patent today. Damn, it's facing a reverse split, and that was already done. It got a 1 to 50 reverse split. It already faced the RS, right? Please go ahead and let me know how FNGR is doing, team. Is that it at 664? Please double check with me, as I do have it highlighted down here. Let's see. Yeah, that was double I told you about. PR. Okay, gotcha. 666, 671. Damn. Fingers just taking a nap right now. That'd be interesting. So we can wake up the giant at 9:30 or 10 a.m. Pacific, right after lunchtime. So yeah, let me come back here to this, because the 4 hour time frame is incredibly bullish. Let me see the 30-minute time frame. I assume we're just going to have some slight downside around here, consolidation. So yeah, 30-minute time frame RSI could be at the brink of reversing here. Potential upside soon, but again, it's such a slow mover here that who knows how long it's going to take for this thing to actually react to this support. And if it does take a long time, I imagine that it would be a couple hours at least or more, right? Seeing that this, I know volatility came in a little bit more here, but still 118,000 shares were traded on that 30-minute candle. That's massive, right? So daily candles, let's see now. Yesterday, it was a 219,000. Today so far is 1.5 million. So could it actually reach on this? You know, I don't want to be overly bearish on this, because it does show some pretty bullish signs, like I'm saying, here in the earlier time frames, right? It's just that we're definitely consolidating right now. Upside on the stochastics and expanding volatility. Those are all good signs. And that is consistent on the bi-hourly, the 3 hour as well, yeah, and the 4 hour. And we have a bullish crossover on the MACD as well. Let's see the 6 hour time frame. 6 hour time frame, upside pivot, yeah. Bullish crossover on the MACD. It's there, right? It's the upside is definitely more present than not. Let's see here. Yeah, man. Yeah, I think it goes up. I think it goes up from here. But it's going to be very interesting to see when it chooses that. It could literally be at any moment. I'm also curious of, like, it's hard to see any formation within this. But if there were a formation here, it wouldn't be a pennant. Actually, it would probably be it would probably be maybe an ascending triangle. And is it at resistance right now? Holy crud, that sucks. I hope it isn't. Let's just say that this were, yeah, let's just say that this were the resistance line here. Instead, right, we can adjust it to this. And I'm wondering if this is just resisting because it actually failed the regression line here. So it could that be the case here? Let's see if there's a moving average. Okay, so there is a moving average acting as support right now, so that's not bad. Let me zoom in. Yeah. Let me see. Is that one right? Let me get rid of this. Okay, yeah, the SMA 10 is currently getting converted into a support. That would be good, and a reclaim to the inside of this. That means that over the next, oh right, it's because it's a slow mover that I can't tell when it's going to go, but that means that the next resistance levels could be, let's see, I'll start mapping it out for you, man. Yeah, the next resistance is right where I was there. Let me go ahead and put it down. 324 to, come down to 330. And then, you know, of course, it would be the top side targets here, right? So, yeah, I'd say about 353 to 365, and it does have that 371. Actually, yeah, I guess it would be the 371 top. Those are those two areas of resistance that I'm looking at here. It actually may have a shot at this, man. 10-minute time frame closure coming up in 28 seconds. Let me see the 30-minute. Okay, the 30-minute closure would be the more important one here. Damn, if it can close upside of this 317, let me see, at least 317, yeah, that would be incredible. So 10 minutes, keep an eye on that, dude. See if it can actually close. It would be ideal for it to close upside of 317. But if it doesn't, it just closed the 30-minute candle upside of these moving averages, and it's still bullish. Not a problem, my dude. I just I'm noticing that you know, at least the last tickers that we've been looking at have this crazy indecision. Still bullish, but you know, still an indecision. Okay, yeah, let's take a look at FNGR here. And see what's up. And also, yeah. Let's do that real quick, brother. Scott asking me if I believe in ASRE. Yeah, I do. It's the only problem here is the damn broader markets, right? So are we facing some pressure? Because this thing has been left crippled. Okay, yeah, careful. This thing is about to, man, that is an incredible drop here, and then an enormous recovery. This is why, right? This is why we're facing such turbulence in tickers like ASRE and even CLNV. Like, it's really reactive to the markets. I mean, we had straight downside here from pre-market. And now it's fading towards the upside, facing resistance at the EMA 21. That's all relative pressure to the downside for these tickers too. They can't react as fast. They can't react as fast as the index because of its fundamentals, right? But yeah, I'm not as long as we can keep ourselves. I spoke about this the other day. As long as we can keep ourselves upside of 25 cents. Then I'm good. That would be the bottom support and the invalidation zone. 25, right here. To be very specific, it's this zone here, 25.62 to 24.87. You have to make sure to not close any candles beneath that. At least I would say that a 4-hour candle falling beneath 24.91, or specifically speaking 25.62, closing an hourly candle, I'd say 4-hour candle actually would do it. That would then lead price action to potentially 23. It would bounce here at the bottom side of the support, and if that's not it, then that means that we already faced that bounce, and it was always looked at like this here. Bounce here and bounce here. I could see it actually, but oh my goodness, that could have been it. It's always such a best guess in this area. Let me see. Yeah, I guess we could have yeah, I think that was the support bounce here for the upside and reclaim of the falling wedge. So if this thing is reclaiming the wedge, please remember that this is now your support for validation right down here at 2660 or 2670. There is a possibility here that the asset may want to reach that. It already did it one time, and I imagine that it wants a 4-hour close upside of this conversion of resistance into support, right? So resisting, breakout, support, and maybe one more here before a potential recovery of sorts, right? So yeah, keep that in mind. But I actually got more shares down here. So I'm still bullish ASRE. It's just that it's such a slow mover too. I hate to get kind of closed off in slow movers like this. TPST running. Guys, that is not a ticker we should be trading. Those tickers are so dangerous. Those are meant to rug you. So, oh man. Yeah, AGRI facing that resistance there, dude. Wow. It's, dude, the 30-minute, oh my goodness, it's about to, yeah, this is saying that the 30-minute candle will not make the cut here. It probably won't cut it beyond 316 or 317. So eyeballs on that, dude. That this could be a short play from here, and an invalidation from this. Downside targets are pretty, they're pretty aggressive from this point, dude. Very, very aggressive, to be clear. This can, yeah, first target actually could be down here at about 275. Let me just give you the worst case scenario. That would be a target of 247, and that would be your all-time low. No, AGRI has a 246 all-time low. That's interesting that it's being measured to land right there. So keep that in mind. And yeah, dude, let's look at that real quick. So LQR, wow. What? Oh my goodness. This was that's crazy. Let me see the daily time frame. Oh my goodness. I was already charting this. These were the resistances. Oh my goodness. Okay, so it feels like the asset has done this before, right? But not to the magnitude of this iteration here. It did close off this massive daily gap too. You would imagine that the retracement back would have used the gap as a support before a continuation to the upside. This does not feel too good whatsoever, and also doesn't have any history. It really just has since August 10th. These are not the best tickers to trade like this, brother. These are they often will create this like one pump and then just they're called liquidity grabs. So let's see the 8-hour time frame. Oh man, 1 hour and 30. Let me see where the opening is of this. Opening is a 16.99. Closing is 16.99. Okay. So it's not a bearish engulfing, but still, that is very, very, very bearish looking. Let me see the shorter time frame, starting from the 30. Okay, yeah, bearish crossover on the 30-minute RSI. There's definitely decreasing bull pressure here on the MACD. Outbound cash. Let me actually even pull up my algo here in the shorter time frames. Short signal printed on the 10-minute. Let me see the 5-minute. 5-minute time frame short printed. 15-minute time frame short printed, and the 30-minute time frame doesn't have it just yet, but I can already imagine that it may do it fairly soon. Hourly time frame short pivot has not shifted towards any type of bullish. It's still honoring it from way up here. So no shift in that. Let's see back to the 30-minute time frame. Yeah, same situation with the 30-minute. Even with this upside here, the algorithm did not long it. It's still short. So if there's and this, yeah, it's so close to the damn all-time low here. Let me see some moving averages. Okay, 30-minute time frame, all these moving averages above. Same with the hourly, same with the bi-hourly, and also, of course, every other moving average. Every other time frame. So that just means that this asset could be prepping for another another potential fall here, and it may start creating a new all-time low. Right, first there could be a short-term upside if it does get that, right? Potential resistance between I'll put it down here. Yeah, from a 1653 at the EMA 7 to about 1698. Now, if it does get a further upside, I think I see another one here, but this one would be less likely. Yeah, that would be 1797 to 1852. Really don't think it can get over 3 moving averages, though, all at once. Anything's possible in the markets, but it just feels like it's a little bit of a long shot there. So this, in fact, I feel like this can actually get into short-term upside on the stochastics, and then it'll essentially capitulate again. But yeah, my dude, I'm not feeling too good about this, dude. I could be wrong, right? But I'm definitely not feeling too good about it. So yeah, let me finally check out FNGR here. Currently at 670. No, I don't think it's exhausted. I just think that it's waiting for a validation of sorts. So that we're gonna find out which one. That's the 12-hour. Let me see, team. Just a quick moment. Right, that's the confirmation. Okay, so yeah, the mean currently sitting at 667. We just broke upside of that mean band. I actually expect FNGR to wait till it closes the hourly candle upside of that 667. We're right at the discretionary support. Right, so it could just be wanting to validate the closure of this candle. That would be over in 28 minutes and 27 seconds. If the asset closes beneath 667, right? If this candle closes beneath 667, which is 28 minutes, that would introduce another downside here to retouch. I would say anywhere between 648 to 641. It's very conditional. We're currently sitting upside of it, though. So the mean band, one more time, is located at, yes, dead on 667 right now. And we're at 668. That is incredible. Bob, I hope I'm wrong. Right? I hope I'm wrong, dude. I don't mean to be I don't mean to be a massive bear here, right? So it's just if the chart is saying it, I really would not like for you to, you know, I'm just giving you whatever the chart says, my brother. I definitely hope it rips, you know, but it's just the odds are playing kind of incredibly against it. Mario, not a problem, brother. You're welcome. So, oh, you like the reality? Okay, thank you. I was just wondering if what I was seeing was right or wrong. Okay, good. Yeah, sure. I definitely get that. Right. I would often compare thesis with whomever as well. So coming back to FNGR's shorter time frame. Yeah, let's wait to see. Right at about it's 7:33 a.m. Pacific time right now, so we would wait till 8 a.m. Pacific time to see what that closure does. That could also introduce another short play here for the SPY. Right, so the SPY would be let's see, 20. Yeah, this hourly candle closing in 26 minutes and 16 seconds now and counting. Closing beneath the 435.21, we're at 434.52. That would introduce a potential continuation to the downside. Seeing that it would close beneath the regression band here and the mid band. And I see the resistance happening at the SMA 14, right down here at the hourly RSI. That distance between the RSI signal and the SMA 14 feels like it's right here at the mid band. It's very alike. So that could be that resistance grab. We break beneath it, right? And then we come back to validate the resistance from it, and then we continue. Yeah, there may be. It really all depends. 25 minutes is still a long time, so I would not aggressively enter there. Okay, 665. We definitely can't be closing there. Still got some time to go, but you know what I mean. So that's going to be a very tough condition here, team. Still, it's 25 freaking minutes to go, right? Anything can happen within that time. But I don't think it's looking bad, per se. These are just part of that zigzag that we were talking about. This has, I mean, I'm not going to lie. It does have me curious. Yeah, let me pull up a shorter time frame here. Oh, right. This is this could technically be considered another bullish formation. I believe it's a bullish formation. I think it's I think people also call this diamond a pennant. This is not seen often, right? It doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. It's just that yeah, it's just that you don't see it. You don't see it as often. So let me see. What if I did it to there? And it also is because it has to meet a very, very particular criteria. Wow. What the heck is going on? Yeah, I'm not sure if it's such a tough connection too. So this thing, right? I think they call it a bullish diamond because it's built during an upside, or a bullish pennant. So there are several strategies for this, right? But it's the thing is that when you start observing formations that are not as popular as the traditional ones, then the hit rate becomes lighter and lighter, right? So that you won't be able to benefit off of the traditional play from it, especially when it's built during a smaller time frame. What is up, Jennifer? Good to see you here. Thanks for coming by. Yeah, let me pull up a shorter time frame here. Okay, 665. We definitely can't be closing there. Still got some time to go. What is up, Jennifer? Good to see you here. Thanks for coming by. All right, it's at 667 now, team. Man, it's I gotta say that's a really close one right now. So we, this is it's so damn close. Wow. I have to say that these next 22 minutes are critical for FNGR. Oh man. And now what if it closes at 667? That, my friends, is a gamble. That would be entirely dependent on whoever just gets the short harder or the long harder. But if it closes at 668, when the mean band is at 667, then that's a bullish statement. Sure, brother. All right, yeah, AGRI facing its, a little bit of a bounce here from that SMA 50, but I think eventually it will reach that 276. Yeah, very little volatility. I suspect that it could be coming in a little later. But that's, of course, right, it's not definitely not any type of guarantee, but I would love to see that. Let's take a look at, what is that, ARDX. Let's see what's good with that ticker. And then we'll come back and follow up with FNGR. The next 25 minutes are critical. Okay, this one too. So ARDX is about to face a critical closure. I'm so happy that we're within the hourly close, because that would be the invalidation play here. This candle, if it closes beneath the EMA 21, is bearish in 20 minutes and 46 seconds. The EMA 21 located at 354. Now, even more bearish if it closes beneath this invalidation here. So that would be at about 348. So if it closes beneath 348, Lord in heaven, it may actually play for a short play. I mean, I'm exaggerating a bit, of course, right? But it would introduce downside, and it would introduce, of course, the first touch is going to be the SMA 50 down here on the hourly time frame, 342, which would be, yeah, but we've already kind of used that 342, and it was right over here, right at the SMA 50. So we were trying to measure this dead cat bounce from yesterday, right? So, or 2 days ago, Friday, sorry. I forgot how it actually played out, but we got, like 70% to the target we were looking for, but for sure reached our first target of support of 319, right? Price action came down to 316. It was pretty close. That's not bad. But, I mean, still, this feels like it's just, it feels like it's just making another lower high, right? So these pivots here. Let's see. The Salesforce expansion. That's quite the advanced academy there, Jennifer. Oh my goodness. Yeah, man. Something is telling me here that, so the next 19 minutes are going to be very critical for ARDX. In fact, for a lot of tickers. Every ticker, if they're beneath any type of if they're beneath any type of major moving average like this, or at a critical point. So I would be doubly careful over what the happenings will be over the next 18 minutes, because something tells me that this is going to try to invalidate completely, and it'll just capitulate. That drop. You're closing beneath the EMA 21. Not only that, is the SMA 10, EMA 7, and EMA 9. Also, more importantly, the SMA 100, and then a bearish engulfing too. Damn. Kind of a lot going against the bulls here. 18 minutes and 5 seconds left to go. And that's, let's see, the 30-minute time frame is going to invalidate that SMA 50. To touch the SMA 100, which is very similar to the hourly time frame SMA 50, right over here. My goodness. Yeah, man. So, but remember that this, what if it just comes back down to this invalidation and just longs like crazy, right? We don't know, but that's why these closures are specifically important. Right? So, yeah, well, why don't we do that for you, Daniel? Let's take a look at that. Wow, okay. Let me see where this is in comparison to the linear regression bands. They said it was LinReg LRC. Wow. Okay. That sucks. That also sucks. A lot. Let's see. Oh my goodness, this thing is for real trying to cut it. Let's go to the, okay, my goodness. Why is it doing this? What news did Metamaterials names Jim Fuaro as new CEO? Why does he have a bad track record? Is he not a good CEO, or what's the, or is just this thing is just playing an inversion? Because the linear bands are giving me a hint, but I don't think that's going to be the overall price objective here. I honestly think the price objective, I mean, the first price objective, sure, I guess could be at about 1911. Let me come back to this real quick. Dude, I forgot. Let me see. No, the reversion variant. It's the Bollinger Band's mid band. 15 minutes and 30 seconds to close upside of the 667. If it doesn't close upside above 667 in 15 minutes, that's bearish. If it closes beneath it, you know, so literally if it does 666, that's bearish. Right? So if it closes 668, that's bullish. That would suck a lot. So it's looking good though. 669, right? I mean, we still have an eternity away. 15 minutes are super. That takes forever to complete, man. Yeah, hold on just a sec, team. Just a sec. See what I mean? It's crossing beneath the 667 now. It's like they can't really make the decision. Just a moment. Sorry, team, stuffing my face with water right now, right? Yeah, superstitious is all hell, right? No pun intended with what I just said. Big wick energy. I will be. Yeah, man, I know. B, I agree. It is creepy as all crap, man. That's you need an old priest and a young priest. Currently at 665. That's right, man. Choose one already, but not that middle one. Oh, Welby called it. Welby totally called it, guys. This is This is FNGR, the Halloween special. Good times. Oh my goodness, man. Mark, are you trading? Mark, are you trading? Are you trading SECO? Let me go ahead and find out with Seb what the heck happened. I could be wrong, but I believe. Okay. Oh man, so yeah, I'm noticing here that it's still coming down pretty aggressive. This 30-minute and hourly close, that's gonna be oh man, so yeah, closing. This was technically, well, actually, let me see. Oh man, yeah, the current price right now, 20.01, right? This is going to be something that you're going to learn about in the master's course, right? So I guess this is I'll remind you when we're there too, right? When we get to that week, because what you're about to see right now is a break of a key support, right? So you can see here that this candle came down and touched that support. This candle, this candle, this candle, this candle here. This candle used it as support right over here too. So let me just kind of make this a little larger, right? So, and it is purposely set the way I have it right here, because of all of these area. I mean, everything here has supported from that zone, right? So now price action is currently sitting at it. So it's trying to determine whether this is going to be a support or not, right? But what it's looking like here is actually, let me just adjust it. There we go. So the actual support here is 20 cents, historically speaking. So the candle top on this here was 1911 or 1921. Sorry, let's see this one. That's 20. Let's see the low of this candle here. That's that's 20. The low of these, yeah, those are 20. Yeah, this 20 is the current support. But this is what happened though. We penetrated. We went to 1980 and now we came back up. So that's how you know that this is a resistance. So that means that in 9 minutes and 55 seconds, if this asset closes, I guess I think I would say at or below 20, then this would start experiencing a downside from which it could face the 1959. So this is showing now that it combated the upside, so now it's a support. Okay, so now that means that we have to close at 20 or above. I would really like above though, not at, for the bulls, because the bulls, this is going to be a tough trek to the upside. Very, very, very tough. I'm very curious over what's going to happen on this. So 662 and falling for FNGR. Team, actually, this may be okay, right? This may be a good thing, because remember what happens on that on the little switcheroo, right? So we have the 657 bottom right here, team. No worries. Let's come back to the other charts and stuff. So I don't know if I know that some of you are real observers over the strategies that I put up at night, in the late hours for the asset. So I don't know if I have any watchers here, but did I say that there could be the potential of reaching back down to 615, 638 with a focus of 623? I know that we were specific about 641. Northwest, nice price. I am going heavy now, 14K shares. Let's go. Oh man, that 650, a nice that's, oh man, yeah, let's continue looking at, let's continue observing here. Let's see the moving averages. Let me see the linear regression bands. Okay, so damn. Yeah. Okay. So the 30-minute time frame linear regression bands is showing that our mean is of course 668, right? Or arguably speaking 667. So just like we were talking about in the volatility bands, which would be the Bollinger bands, it's saying closing beneath 667 would be bearish. Now, using the linear regression, right? This is more it's just a different multiplier, still within a standard deviation or 2 or 3. The mid band here is located at a very similar target to the mid band of the Bollinger bands. So closing this tool is institutionally used too. So if we're closing beneath 667 on the hourly time frame here, this would actually start to come back down to the mid band from the bearish control zone. So it would be right down here, which would signal the potential support to be located at about 643 to 639. And then again, we want to make sure that we can close the candle above the 643 to 639 for us to bounce to the upside and reclaim the 670 zone. Let's take a look at armor. Not a problem, brother. Let me load that up here. And let's see if it has we're going to check the shorter time frames too. Right? Because it's usually more of a short-term based indicator for day trading, scalping, momentum trading. And we have a short signal here and didn't print a long signal for this upside here. It's still honoring the short on the hourly. So let's look at the 30-minute time frame armor algo. So this one longed here and it still feels like it's long. This may be a false signal. Let's see the 15-minute time frame. 15-minute time frame also longed it. So if you did take the strategy here, no, you're out of the money still. Yeah, man. I think short-term bullish, but it's invalidating. There you go. 5-minute time frame is reading it. Here's a bearish crossover, EMA2 under the EMA8, and suggesting a short that's printed at the open pretty much of this candle at 661. Is currently at 655 and dropping. So technically either you entered short here or this would be the end of this play here. So it would ride from 641 to 661. And that's when that's when the algorithm just told you to kind of get out the market before a continuation. Let's see. Okay, so let me go back to the hourly time frame because we're reaching that. It's 4 minutes now. And let's take a look at ARQ's DBSI. Bears are gaining strength. Check this out. We have 57% bears strength right now over the bulls at 43 on the hourly time frame. Let's see the 30-minute time frame. Bears are also leading the way with 59% on the 30-minute. 15-minute time frame, 67% bears. 10-minute time frame, 84% bears. And I imagine we're in the 90 percentile with a 5-minute. Wow, not even that. We're actually at 62% bears. But still, the bears are leading the way in the immediate short term. Let's see the bi-hourly time frame. Bi-hourly time frame, 64% bears and still increasing. Let's see the 3-hour. The 3-hour has the bulls at 53%. I imagine that that's going to shift pretty soon here. So yeah, so 5-minute to bi-hourly time frame is in the favor of the bears. And that just would present here the touch, the possibility down to 641, like we said yesterday. Again, if he needs to do that, all good. I don't think that there's a critical danger here. I do suspect there to be a bounce from this 639 to 642. Now, I mean, just in case we do experience this, please remember that there is still the bottom side of $6, right? I'm not saying that we're going there. I'm just saying that we must be kind of aware of that, right? Yesterday we went to 617, so that 617 bottom could technically tell us that we may be able to face it into tomorrow. I don't know, but it's going to be conditional. It's going to be very conditional upon closures of these critical supports, right? Particularly 643. So 2 minutes and 9 seconds left to close this hourly candle, and you know, it's definitely gonna. It feels like it's definitely gonna close, right? It feels like it. It feels like it's definitely gonna close over or underneath the 667, which would introduce this bottom side right over here at 643 to 637. So for those of you who are just stepping into the chat, this is specifically for you, right? So keep an eye on it. 1 minute 42 seconds. Let's see what it's gonna do. So, yeah, my dude. Let's do that too. You are dead on the money. So let's pull up Composure. ARQ's Composure, and that's gonna be the this is the algorithm that identifies manipulation in the market. So let's go ahead and remove the other signals here so that we can only favor the yellow X, right, which identifies manipulation in the market, the yellow cross. So we're going to leave that enabled here. And of course, we're going to switch over. I know in 1 minute, 59 seconds left, right? I feel like I'm not going to have enough time to look at everything here in that under a minute time frame. But we're waiting for the hourly close here. Let's see. Nothing on the 30. Nothing on the 15. Nothing on the 5. Let me go to the 4. Okay, 40 seconds left. Nothing there. Let me go to the 3 minute. Nothing there just yet. By minute time frame. Nothing there. 1 minute, 26 seconds left, team. Careful. Okay, I am not seeing anything all the way to the minute time frame. So now let's go back to the hourly, switch it over to candles, and see what's going to happen here, because this is that bearish closer. 10 seconds left. Closing beneath the mid band here. Wow, really trying to catch it. I feel like it's oh man, oh damn. So that's is still pretty bearish here, right? So this actually may introduce a continuation to the downside. Let's see what happens at the open of this hourly candle. The bulls really tried to take it to 667 there. Wow. Okay, let's see if it resists if it resists from 675 to 660 or 670. That would be our resistance range before a continuation to the way down by practice. Yeah, that was an enormous. I wish I was looking at a level 2 at that point, right, to see if there was a huge buy order at that point. But that was incredibly volatile leading into that last few seconds. Sorry. Oh, and that was the. Oh man, look at the SPY close upside of the resistance. This is a long play for the SPY. Potential entry could actually be down here at the EMA 21. 434.72. It closed upside of the mean band, and that couldn't have been a closer close. Look at that. So there is a strong probability that the SPY may face an upside here. But I do have to say that it's very close to the close here. I usually like it to be at least a little further in, right? But there is a probability here that the SPY is going to run up based on that simple fact. It's already feeling bullish. Yeah, I have a feeling this is going to do it. Nice. Interesting times here. Incredible. Right, so it does have a support bottom here too. That may do it to the EMA 21 at about 434.77. It is 8 a.m. Pacific. How's FNGR doing? Is it falling? You're gonna take it yourself? 668. Okay. Thank goodness it's holding. Let's see. Nice little bounce there. Let's see here. Okay. Well, let's take. Yeah, I'm wondering if the market's recovery will help. All right. Nice, good deal. Let's take a look at FNGR, see where it's currently sitting. 669. I hope what I'm thinking is that it may be trying to validate a resistance here, so that it can grab. And to be honest with you, it would be, you know how we always speculate on the switcheroo, right? As soon as the algo shift happens at about 10 a.m. Pacific time. So, or 9 a.m. Pacific to 10 a.m. because of the NYSE lunch. So if FNGR has been facing some pressure to the downside, that could shift. Let me go back to the play team. Yeah, SPY showing some strength. But it also is at a resistance on the hourly time frame RSI, but it's feeling good. Northwest, you're in with a long right now on you took my long here on the SPY. Because if you did, that's awesome, because I'm currently 23% up. That is, yeah, I mean, a little bit of resistance there, of course. But it's all good, it happens. 669 on 239,000 in volume for FNGR. Looks like the bulls wanted to go up even though they missed the number by a penny. I think so too. That feels, it's feeling like it should have already started capitulating, you know, actually upon the closure of that candle. Nice, buddy. Literally bouncing off of these supports. Let's see if we can catch it. At these areas here, I'm just break even. And it is an hourly as well, right? So if we can get back up there, it feels like it may, I mean, if we can get back up there to the 23% gain, maybe that can be a zone to kind of pull it, right? But it still feels like it can support from the EMA 21. we're at a critical support here with a closure upside of the mid band. So the hourly time frame RSI is kind of like that little barrier there, right? But it actually feels like it has enough pressure to ride it. Nice, Northwest. Let's kill it, brother. So I got this point here. Let's see if it just clicks up a little tick more. Right. Oh, come back up. And because at these points here, I'm just sitting at 5 spot 88% up. Right. So right up there. This is pretty much the entry here. Right. And it moves these 2 little ticks up that it usually does. And then it puts me at 5.88% up. But I'm riding a further out of the money call with very little exposure. These are more, yeah, man, my goodness. This RSI block here, that wall is really catching it. Keep it, whatever you got to do, just do it. Let me look at the 5-minute time frame. Okay, that could be a support from the gravitational zone for an upside. The SMA 200, of course, in the 5-minute time frame was the reason why it stopped, but it's knocking at the door of it. This is not bad. 5-minute silver cross down here. And the break out of the linear regression. I don't use the linear regression on the 5-minute, but it feels pretty tight. No way, Joel. Where? That's such a... Man, that ticker is super freaking tough too, man. Where did it jump to? That is crazy. Yeah, keep an eye on here. I think this is just validating here. 29 seconds left to close. This is feeling pretty, this still feeling okay, right? So if it does want to touch back down here at the EMA 21, which I don't think it could, but let it be, right? Because I think these bounces here are going to be overall for a bullish statement. Let it be. Let it be. All right, so Mark, let's see, back to 666. Nice. Hated that it closed beneath the SMA 14. Let's see if it can catch the upside here. Nice. Brother, if you feel any weakness in the market, right, we all we got to do is just pull out. But at this point here, we should be either break even or just slightly up. These are magnified. Crazy gains over these very I mean 0 DTE or even the next day expiry. All right. So yeah, I'm sitting at 6% up, and I'm thinking that if it can go back up here, then maybe that can be a zone where we can just get out of the market. 676 FNGR, what a bounce. Yeah, they just said, you know what? Yeah, this is a bear play, but nah. Jeez. Nice, keep it moving. FNGR moving up to 676. Keep on putting those numbers here on the chat, team. Northwest, I'm gonna pull out right around here, I think, for a 23% gain, at least from my end. I think that it would be irresponsible of us to try to wait for a crazy upside here, although it feels pretty good. I don't know if I'm like feeling this like SMA 200 resistance. It's knocking at the door out of that. It feels like it's going to combat it. right? So while we're in the green, while we have some profits, we may be able to get out the market or at least pull out some exposure here because we're in the money, right? But I feel like we could have gotten a more volatile move to the upside already. FNGR 677, and it reached 680 even still. Very nice. COSM up 38%. Well, I mean, some people may not believe in the asset for an investment strategy, right? But I mean, if it has volatility, sure, just trade it. But be very careful because the COSM has a tendency to trap some people there for some time. Make sure to keep a tight stop, right? Make sure to follow your plan and get out of the market when you are in the green. So right over here at the SMA 200, my brother, I think I'm going to pull right there. And it's getting very close to it. Let me see if I can just put it right under it, like right over here. I think that would be my area of exit. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Keep it moving. Always such a treacherous ride to that resistance, man. Pick it up. Woo! There we go. Okay. Right, and of course, you didn't hear the what do you hear when I put that on, team? There we go. Got it for a 23% gain. Nice. Northwest, you caught it? That was my out right there. Man, look at this thing. And it may continue to the upside too, brother, but I think I feel like we shouldn't be greedy. Look at that. Wow. Talk about pulling a little too early, right? I feel so nervous over these things, man. But able to capitalize a little bit, screw it. Ugh. Let's go to FNGR and see what's good. 686, yeah, currently sitting at 683 right now. Now it's at the top side resistance. And let me see how mapped that was, right? Right, yeah, I hear that, Northwest, and you know, honestly, the person who really holds for the wins here is actually Cryptic. He will hold his winners there, right? So I'm a little more conservative than he is. He's a little more aggressive. But you know, it's a good balance. Both strategies make you know, make some gains. The 7 test is incoming, says Rosy Gray Glasses. I do tend to believe that the regression bands are at $7 at the mean here. Does it really? I got it. How's that? Does that sound a little better? 681 FNGR, man. Zenon, please let me know, my brother. Does it sound better? Okay, cool. Let me see. You're talking about FNGRs? Let me for what expiry, brother? 684. Damn. Right, Joel? If we're making the cash, we're on the right track. I mean, that small trade for the SPY, given the fact that it did kind of rally a little bit higher. Oh, that was it for the resistance. Yeah, given the fact that it rallied, you know, we still, at least on my side, I pocketed 23.8%. October 20th? Let's see. It does have a lot of open interest. That's what you're saying? Let's see. October 20th, this Friday. No, dude. No. What date are we on? What day is it today? Today's Tuesday? I mean, maybe if you can write it into tomorrow, but I wouldn't hold Friday expiries beyond Tuesday or Wednesday. Actually, I would not buy it. They would give, it's the biggest gamble, right? Sure, it can give you some serious gains, but those options contracts, you were supposed to buy them maybe last week or the previous week to let them go today or tomorrow, right? So at this point, you may or may not make some cash on it, right? But the problem is that, yeah, when you're looking at a weekly expiry, you would try to exit midweek or Tuesday, honestly. So Bob is saying no matter this week's 7 strike have remained down. No way. The 7 strikes. Let me. Oh, well, that's the 7 strike is How is that? How is that possible with the 7 strikes, man? This is like that's right at the money. I imagine that they're gonna ride heavier once it reaches the $7 target, or to be honest, it would be like 725-ish, right? So 725 or 7. Once you reach those targets, 725, 730, 35, your gamma would start applying pretty aggressively on those $7 strikes. Let me see the open interest. It's 4,300. $8 strikes with a 4,366. $9 strikes with a 3,100. Let's see. The 7s have a delta of 48 right now, gamma of 39, and damn, it has the biggest open interest. Okay, 156% implied volatility. To see the 8s, 192% implied volatility, and the 9s are at 226. Okay, so it still has time. I think that it's still, as soon as you reach the 7, like I said, a deeper 7, then your contract would actually start to show more flow. Yeah, it's definitely getting some acceleration. Look at this. We're right at the resistance here, 688. It's currently at 689, of course, right? But oh my goodness, the SPY even went a little bit higher, and it's trying to capitulate now. So let's see if it. I wonder if FNGR is feeding off of that. Yeah, so the SPY is showing a little bit of weakness right now, so I think it recoupled because of this just crazy upside that it faced. 685. Okay, 435.90 and falling. I think this could come back down to 435.56. Pretty much right where we exited. And let's see how FNGR is behaving towards that. 685. Okay, 686. Is it coming up? Okay, it has a little tick up. Yeah, there's a little bit of correlation between the markets and FNGR at the present moment. A very small correlation, but it is. Yeah, look at this. 686. It feels like it wants to push up as the SPY pushes slightly up. 435.88, 90, 91. I think it needs a bigger increment to the upside. 92. 93, let's see if Finger got it. Okay, moved down a tick. 93. Let's take a look if we can still catch entry at a 6. Damn, I mean, we came down to there that one time, right? Let's see this on the 10 minute. 10, 20, 30. So yeah, it was just about an hour ago where we got that 641. Man, I mean, I don't want to say no because you know how tricky FNGR can be, right? So if I guess the thing is here is that we have a whole new set of criteria. So now in 37 minutes, closing upside of the 667 target or 671 at this point. Closing above 671 in 36 minutes would mean a deeper upside for this. And there is still the chance that FNGR could make the $7 target and slightly above it at 710 to come back and validate it as to validate that SMA. The mid band here as a support conversion. Bob, yeah, Tesla was down. I would expect it's up, right? Because the SPY really faced a crazy upside there. It's correcting now, so I'm wondering if Tesla is also correcting too. So let's pull up 4 hours. Yeah, Microsoft recovering. I already had that here, right? So Tesla, here we go. Yeah, Tesla is recovering. All of these tickers are going to have long wicks to the downside. See, this is Apple here with a long wick. You have Microsoft with a long wick, Tesla with a long wick. And yeah. There was a huge wall at 690 yesterday. Was that the one that read like 300? Is that... Am I thinking... It is that one, right? Was it at 300 or something like that? That was close to the market close, no? Somewhere late afternoon? $686. Let's see. Yeah, man. Oh my goodness. I think FNGR to come back down to 642 is going to have to be some real, some real nefarious things. But that drop to it was, that was the kind of like the one touch before the recovery. And it was almost faking us out too. It almost felt like it wanted to drop down to $6. But this huge recovery here, I think it was in respects to the SPY creating this crazy volatile upside. The SPY, if it starts combating that 436.98 right up here, SPY can reach all the way to the 4-hour SMA 200 at 439. A 4-point move on the SPY is pretty big, so that's that could be a nice gainer. Currently sitting at 684. So kitties never die. Oh, you sold at 660? Yeah, if there is going to be another validation, it could be at, to be as exact as I can be, it would be 670 at the linear regression mid band. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, about 670 there. 682. Yeah, I imagine because it just faced the resistance of this area here. Right? So maybe price action can come back down to 675 at this point. Maybe even at 680 before it continues onwards. But as we approach the 9 a.m., here in Pacific time, contraction would start and lower volatility would start to present itself, right? So that means that we could face a consolidation, and it may actually reach back down to those targets. Seeing that, we still have 32 minutes, so that could be a potential. So keep your eyes peeled on that. Bob saying, now the 7 strike made a move. You were correct. Love your content, Arca. I appreciate you, Bob. Thank you so much. Yeah, some of those, sometimes the options contracts, we have to really be patient with them, especially when implied volatility could be at low figures, right? But that's usually where you want to buy your options contract, at lower volatility levels. Because when you get that volatility upside, that's when you will capitalize on the move, right? So you're catching the options contract early. So if anything, I think it was probably a great choice. But yeah, hopefully we can get some more pressure to the upside here, because you may actually start losing some of that delta here as it comes down. I know that 680. Let me see. 680 is essentially a support here. So let's see if it can maintain it. ARDX, is that to the upside or to the downside? Yeah, LQR furthering. This is what I was talking about, team. This is going to start creating new all-time lows soon. Careful with this ticker. Down. Okay. ARDX, right? Let's see again. Right. Yeah, I think it wants to reach. I think it wants to reach that 342. 342 to 339. Hold on. I would correct that, actually. 336 to 342. That could be a zone for a bounce, but I'm not sure that bounce would be for kind of a permanent run here. I do think that bounce would be for a temporary. Yeah, and I think it would actually start to validate resistance up here. It feels pretty bearish though, but yes, man, I think that 342 is in plain sight here. And let's see the hourly time frame. 30 minutes to close that hourly. We closed beneath the EMA 21. So there is an off chance here that it can get 353 for a validation of resistance before a continuation to the SMA 50 at 342. Teaser, what is up, dude? How are you, man? Good to see you here. How is everything with you? Well, we're saying, oh, I know my brother. We are loco, but we love the thrill and risk. Life-changing opportunity when the moment happens at 93. All right, you were talking to him. Good deal, man. Yeah. It feels like it wants to get that downside here, man. And I do think that this is just a validation of resistance that we're facing now. It's rainy. It's rainy in Sweden. I wish it was rainy here right now, my brother, but it's currently sunny and getting a little warmer too. All right, so what is that ticker, OPGN? Many people are saying Sing is the next SING, is the next GTII. Kramers are involved, is getting some attention. Microfloat. The Kramers are also involved in that? My goodness. OPGN. That feels like, this feels like a bullish play here, actually. I think that, yeah, I think this is actually coming back down to validate the support of 112. Since it got the last hour, it's just my fear here is that it's a little confusing because it is kind of a shooting star, right? But it closed upside of the mean band. 64 degrees with a high of 88 for us, Arca. Oh, dude, okay. That's not bad. But I'm starting to feel it here in the studio for sure. Yuca frita. Oh, I gotta tell you, Yuca frita, I have no clue Let's find out. Oh, man. How do you know that? What does that even mean? Are you talking about like, you're giving me some astronomy? Okay, so yeah, we're right at that 112. I imagine that this would be the validation of support. For an upside here. But of course, there is still the off chance here that the EMA 7 may get touched on the hourly, right? Down at 102. But to be honest, they're also here, right? We have a huge fair value gap. So this could be the primary support. In fact, I may actually favor that. I'm going to draw it in there for you. Let's see. If it doesn't bounce from this zone here, then there is a probability that it will bounce from here. 108 to 106. If I'm going to put a quick guess, if I'm going to put a quick guess to what you're meaning, are you talking about the dilation of time between oceans and the difference between a space, like one of those hard clocks? The difference between 5 seconds or 4 seconds of depending on distance, I think you're talking about. I have no idea, but it would be I don't know if is that what it is? Because I have no clue what you're referring to. Wow. Yeah, nice. It definitely faced a little bit of a bounce here. I got a little fake out at 110. Let's see if it can continue to the upside here, because damn, it's a pretty bearish candle in the hourly. For OPGN, I think so. I think this would be the validation of support here. It works the majority of times, closing upside of the mid band on an hourly time frame. So yeah, you got, if I were to put the quick guess here, I'm going to guess that it would be Geo, because we're not in space. So a couple milliseconds, I'm sorry, it would be microseconds, right? Actually, not 5-second difference. It would be like it would be a kind of a micro difference here. They're back at it. Double X, what is up, my dude? Good to see you here. Oh, man, I'm so sorry, my brother. Stick that finger up, man. Good to see you here, my brother. How's everything with you? They're back at it again with the white vans. Let's see.
Phone. So I have to.
No problem.
I just have to look it up.
Are you guys able to hear that?
It's slow. I'll tell you. I'll interrupt you as soon as it comes.
Someone just said it's 684 on 417,000 shares. William, thank God you're not a gunfighter in the Old West. We would have shot you 20 times already. But again, so everyone, this is a fight. Our short seller is like a bull.
He thinks you're
like
trouble.
A bullfight. We're wearing them out. Every angle that they try, their desperations, everyone is seeing it. Money managers, professional investors, all can see what the desperation by the short sellers. All right. So again, I don't know how long they get to stand here. I don't think it's much longer. And I think that eventually, who knows? Maybe today they fold. I have no idea. Any questions, William? Come on, let's go.
Yeah. One guy's asking, can a whale put an order in for 10 million shares
¿Qué pasión ese?
legally
Wow,
with a specific
that is-
purpose to bust the shorts? Is that legal?
Yeah, listen, hedge funds and people of that power don't like to abuse that power.
684.
They're not here to spoof your way to stardom. They're here to accumulate. It's about making money. If you just go out there and spoof big orders and not buy anything, okay, you're just as bad as the criminals then, right? Manipulating the market to go up. So if you're going to buy it as a whale, they're not going to do that. They're not going to jeopardize whatever they're part of just to make the stock go up so that we're all happy, right?
Well, that's
So
true.
think about it like that. You know, when you meet these guys, they have a lot of money. They know what they're doing. They're not here to manipulate the stock to make you happy. So, get over that already.
That's right. Not legal advice says that Toronto Dominion, they said they don't review articles prior to publishing them.
You still able to hear me,
the
team?
Liability go back to? It's either Toronto Dominion, okay, or Benzinga, but someone needs to expose this little fraudulent activity. So, because why don't we all send stories to Toronto Dominion and say, hey, finger motion, price target 900, say whatever you like. Why won't they post it? If they're posting stuff, why are they where are they getting the content that they're posting it? Who supplied it to them?
Right.
There has to be something, right? If there's no one overseeing that and there's no responsibility, it's not legal advice. How many people can get sued for this? Imagine selling on fake information or fake reports, or buying on a fake report. Just go back and look at, I can probably go to the SEC site and find 50 stories where people put out fraudulent press releases, management of a company, and they've all gotten arrested for doing so.
Right.
False and misleading statements, either way, are criminal. And Toronto Dominion just told you, say, hey, man, it's not our thing. Why would you even put it up if you know nothing about it? What's the origin of this story? Where did it come from? Why would you accept it? Can I give you a story since you're not paying attention to anything?
Right.
Think about what you just heard, everybody. That's how crooked Wall Street is. They write stories, they're putting them out, they're going to every platform. The distribution is amazing. Think how many stories have come through Benzinga where no one looking at it and they destroyed stocks. I know Busy has someone looking at it and putting that together, finding a bunch of stocks that were posted, names that were posted on Benzinga, and people, stocks were destroyed over these false and misleading stories with nobody taking responsibility for writing those stories. Thank God we have smart people here like William and Richard. It's not legal advice, and Busy Brands and all these type of people that caught this Benzinga thing and attacked them. And now now Benzinga has to go under defense and is going to be has the lawyer Mark Bazile, that pit bull, going after them.
He's great.
It's easy.
He's great.
Who wrote the story? Who submitted it to you? What's the paper trail, Benzinga? And what's he going to say? Well, it's what, it just fell out of the sky on our site? What's he going to say? He's got to answer it. Yeah, it came from this guy. We usually get good reports from him. Well, who is it? We want to know. That's who we're going to sue. And
Mark,
after we sue him, Benzinga has liability.
Mark is great. He's he understands it, and he goes after it with the knowledge that he understands of what the criminals do. So,
well, that's because he's got people like you, William, helping him out.
I think it's you. Don't you?
So I have one of the shareholders, Big Lou, William, we met with DC, who walked the halls with us. He's doing his interview today, and he's going to do a great job. And a few other people. I just had one of our shareholders reaching out to another famous shareholder, Dr. Aziz. We're trying to try to get him on the conference on the movie, because he's been around a long time, and as an oncology surgeon who deals with death every day, to have him and his family terrorized by naked short sellers. Think about how disgusting that is. I want Dr. Aziz, if he's listening, if he's not in surgery, please agree to do a segment on the movie, because people need to understand that, here's our first responder, a guy that can save your life, anybody's life. He doesn't question you what you do when you go in there. He's there to save your life. If I was him and you told me you were a hedge fund and you played on the short side, I would tell you I'll be right back and leave you to die. So I'm a different character. But he's not like that. That's a real guy who does, he's here to save lives, and he stands tall, even though he knows they're robbing him. He can't stand it. It drives him crazy. But he's tried and helped us out a lot, and he's a wonderful guy. So again, Dr. Aziz, I'm sending the message through this conference call and through a few shareholders to reach out to him and set up his interview with the movie people.
One guy's asking, not legal advice, if whomever, Toronto Dominion, claims that this is their First Amendment to publish, not legal advice says, well, if it's false, it's not protected. That's the whole argument about, there are limits on the First Amendment. Can't cry fire in a crowded theater.
The gentleman yesterday, William, on the call in the afternoon says, when you put it in writing, there's libel.
It's
right?
libel, yeah. I and I. That's how you remember. Writing has an I in it. Libel has an I in it.
All right. I'm never going to remember that, so don't say it again.
Verbal is slander.
Again, so we want to know who's the author, who's the analyst, where did it come from? If it was a paid content provider, how much did they pay Benzinga, and where did it come from? It's pretty easy. If Benzinga wants to take the heat for it, then so be it. Then everybody needs to call up their brokerage firm and tell them to stop taking information from them. That'll put him out of business, because that's where he makes his money, being a content provider. All right. So again, that information isn't his. He doesn't have an analyst doing reports. And of all the companies in the world, he picked Finger Motion, and he was completely off by 1,000,000%. All right. So again, this is complete fraud. It's a new twist to the fraud. Everybody, you didn't expect this to come out. False reports posted on websites. I mean, just think of all the crazy things you're seeing going on. Everyone on the street knows this is a sign of massive desperation. Someone is getting thrown in that shark's mouth, whether it's today or tomorrow. I told you the word on the street, and you could sit there and say, well, you heard this guy from Goldman. I heard it from different people. It's like your fake story. We're hearing it. I'm hearing it. What can I tell you? Now we're hearing that what? There's fake stories. Now we're hearing that there's whales moving up their bids, trying to take stock. Now you hear this. Now you hear that. Okay, this is our First Amendment. We're allowed to say what we hear, right? We're not saying it's guaranteed. I am not saying it's guaranteed, but it's nice to know what's going on in the street.
Just don't question the election results, please.
Don't question.
Not on my YouTube.
All right. Any other questions, William? I'm trying my best to answer everything before you. I have to pick up my wife and her 2 boyfriends this afternoon.
William, so you're on edge.
I have this feeling they're going to come out. The 3 of them are going to come out, and they're going to give me $20 to put their luggage in my car.
Make sure you compliment their shoes. You'll be on their good side.
So everybody needs to know. While the warden was away, we were all playing. Now the warden's coming home. We're back in lockdown, so it's over with. She wanted to know if I was vacuuming the house when she was away. I don't even know where the vacuum is.
Somebody's asking, can the other side pay for a story to correct the first? They've already hit and run.
Yeah, they listen. They've
moved down the line.
whoever put that story out yesterday was paid to do it. All the little bandits came in, tried to knock it down to 620. Listen, do you remember these stocks have, so you guys don't know, but these guys these are knockout punches.
Right.
Like, for example, TIO, I remember that Hindenburg came out and did a bashing job on that stock. They knocked it down from $5 to below $1. It hasn't bounced back up. That's what they keep trying to do. They're trying to poke and look for a hole in our defense. And this way they can run through that hole. That's all they're trying to do. So what's next? They're going to attack you. They're going to attack me. Who cares? It's all about what's in front of you. The borrow rate is through the roof. There's no shares to borrow. They're naked shorted enough to choke a horse. They know they're exposed. They need people. They need everyone on this phone call to sell.
Right.
How are they going to convince you to sell? Well, everybody use your imagination. You can see that they're using theirs. They're sitting there on the phone today and say, that rat bastard Ham is talking to William again, teaching these people about what we tried to do. They're 2 steps ahead of us. That's why I keep telling you guys, these people are monkeys. They're not traders. They have no clue what they're doing. Charlie Mayo and the Kramers are even worse than this gang. All right, so again, what stock is going to go first? I hope they all go at the same time. People ask me, someone said, oh, the best setup in the world in GTI. I do agree it's the best setup, but it's been overtaken because of the power of finger motion now has trapped the short sellers 5 times more than they should have. And now it's reversed. So now this stock is the one that's going to go first. That's how it looks to me. And then we're going to circle back and trample those guys. So for those people who, again, say I forget and never speak about it, I do. I say it every day. But if you need me to sign a piece of paper and tell you where I'm going next, no problem. We're going to take the winnings, like every degenerate gambler on this call. We're going to, like my guys in Brooklyn, they're all degenerate gamblers. When we win the first game on Sunday, we're going to go bet more on the second game, right? Try to double down and win more. Well, that's what we're going to do in the stock market. Once we expose the criminals, then it's a free shot on the next one.
Yep.
I had a few things I repeated yesterday, maybe late in the day. William, I don't remember what I said.
Well, I don't remember what you said yesterday, except for the dramatic stuff.
My friend just texted me. He's got another 50,000 to buy in Finger. Brokers are putting away the stock. They can see the trap. They're trapped. There's no way out. The money manager that bought yesterday, who bought all those calls, who's been buying them, he said, looks like they shot all their bullets yesterday. There's nothing left to say. Professional people can see death. This is what it looks like. I hope it goes. William, I hate to ask you, where's the stock at?
It's 694.
Okay, so again, it's 694. People are accumulating it. And again, accumulation, everyone, always leads to higher prices. Pushing it down brings in buyers. Letting it run up will bring in sellers. The problem is, if it goes up, they cannot maintain their margin. And that's why they fight so hard to hold it down, because if it goes up, everything, it costs money. You know, for example, I can't think, if you go to a steakhouse, you get the steak is $65. If you want a French fry, that's $10. If you want cream spinach, it's $12 more. It's the same thing on Wall Street. If you're shorting it, you got to pay all these different fees attached to it. Nothing is free. All right, these guys are naked shorting. They have all types of fees attached to this. They pay brokers to execute the stock and kill it. Like the guy from Morgan Stanley, I was paid to naked short every day. He said it in the video, the guy from Share and Tell. So these orders are entering the system through brokers. It's not just coming from the short to the platforms. They give orders all over the street to make it look like there's different sellers. They're trying every trick in the book to try to get you to sell. And again, you can do what you like. This is a game where you need to make your own decisions, protect your own family, and never turn a winning trade into a losing trade. If you can't afford it, please protect yourself. We're fighting criminals. This isn't normal. The whole thing about this stock and GTI, nothing is normal. The one thing is normal is the company's doing the right thing. The company's building a massive company. The fundamentals are there. The revenue's there. They're going to be profitable, blah, 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 blah. The company put it out in a press release. You make the determination. So this company, the gentleman yesterday told me that the company's worth $8 right now and $10 in the next quarter based on he sees on the projections. That's someone that is an IR guy, a well-known guy who does fundamental work. I do nothing about fundamental work. That's not my thing. So I respect it when he says things like that. So I have no fear of holding on to a company that's going the right direction. The fear in this stock is people that bought options that are concerned that they're going to hold it down again. But there's short sellers holding it down. They're running out of steam here. Once it goes through the next strike, which is 7, I expect a quick move up to 8 because now these $7 options become in play. As it moves and it breaks 8, the $8 calls become in play. And if they just surrender and fold, boom, everything's in play. That's how it works. It walks and then it runs. And this stock has had enough buying for months. This by itself should be $20 or $30 all the buying that came into this stock if it was a normal stock. But again, this is not normal. They're holding it down because of security fraud. And because of security fraud, you're getting a life-changing situation, which we have documented for 3 years. Not 3 weeks, 3 years.
If one guy's saying
if the queen had balls, she'd be king. Is that what you're going to say?
If the king had no balls,
if the queen had balls,
queen.
she'd be king. Okay. I thought that's what you were going to say.
This guy says, William, last night you said you think they move stock from LLC to LLC to manage their margin calls. What is Ham's opinion?
No, they don't do it to manage. That's not true. They don't move it from account to account to manage margin calls. Margin calls are margin calls. All right, that doesn't change. They're moving it to buy more settlement time. For example, let's say they're short 10 million shares in account A, and one firm is calling for 1 million shares to be delivered. They have to somehow buy that 1 million shares back. So what they do is they go to the marketplace and they cross it from one LLC to the other. So the LLC that needs to deliver 1 million shares, they bid for stock. Another LLC sells it to them, and they go back to their prime broker and say, hey, we bought back 1 million shares. Here you go. And the new liabilities in another LLC. It's a kiting scheme. That's all that is. But at the end of the day, it comes down to money and margin. That is the breaker.
But I guess what I was trying to explain is they can move trades to avoid settlement, change settlement time is probably what I was.
They're just trying to buy more settlement time. Yeah. They could be moving it to help on margin calls, taking the pressure off one LLC, moving it to another. And hopefully the prime broker in the next LLC is not paying attention, saying, hey, it's only 1 million shares. We'll give them a little leeway to good clients. Yes, they could be doing that. But I think most of the problem is related to stock settlement.
I didn't know this, but it's interesting. I should have known it. I just haven't looked. The prime rate now is 8.5%. Did you know that? That makes money tight for these shorters, or expensive.
Listen,
expensive.
There is a ton of things that are going against them. Remember, if you're lending them money, you're sitting and you're paying, your costs are going up, and you have some losses. You're going to say, hey, I lent you guys $200 million.
Just a
I
sec, see the
can't.
little
You got
ladies
to
here.
give back $100 million. I need the money for something else. And that is a death blow to these guys because money is getting tight. Everyone looks to save their own ass. And eventually it'll come up where these guys are going to be exposed because no one's going to back these trades. No one will back these trades. Everyone will run from it. If they go and tell people they need to borrow money to pay for this, I guarantee you, if they told 5 people, 5 of them will say no, and then 5 of them will buy the stock because they know he's dead. So they can't even call people and borrow the money.
I'm looking, there's a bunch of, questions that I'm trying to filter out.
No, just bang them out. Don't make a difference. If they're stupid, I just go right past it.
Well, one guy's asking, have you had contact recently with Univest?
No.
Gamma squeeze is another comment. I don't know what you can add to that.
As the stock moves up through these strike prices, so they're fighting to hold it below 7. Why are they fighting to hold it below 7? What's the problem with 7? Is it A, could it begin the beginning of a gamma squeeze? Yes. Could it be that they're margin money and they're going to get bought in at that point? Yes. There's a bunch of things here that could be holding it, why they need to hold it below 7. The 2 that I think it is that they can't afford the margin, and that once it goes through, the guys that sold the $7 calls now have to become buyers of the stock because they're short the calls. And the way to protect themselves as a market maker, if they sold those calls, the $7 calls for this week, and they sold them at 50 or 60 cents, and the stock goes through 7, they are short. So what they try to do is go out there and buy stock at 7.05, 7.10, 7.20. If they buy it up to 7.59, they're 1 cent in the black because they sold it at 7.60 and they're hedged. And that's what is a gamma squeeze. The market makers will start covering the stock. They have to buy the stock because they sold the calls. And if it goes through these numbers quickly, 7, 8, then that happens in the 8s, the 9s, the 10s, and that's how it keeps rolling up until you get that gap. When it goes 10, 20, that means the 15 calls with 10,000 open interest, these guys would be down $5 and they're in a panic because they sold 20 cent calls and they have to buy them back at $5 a piece. Imagine selling calls at 20 cents and buying them back at $5 or $6. That means destruction for the market makers. And the options, forget the naked short, that's a different part of the game. That's what a gamma squeeze is all about. You get the option market makers, the naked short trying to cover, the option makers trying to cover, people still buying and running in front of it, and that's when you get a gamma squeeze out of it. And the people that, if the stock gaps to 20, the people that bought the 10s, they're going to buy the 25 calls, and it just keeps going, and you just keep pressing the bet. It's like being at a roulette table or whatever. You hit a number, you're going to put more money out there. You put 100 on a number, you get $3,500 back, right? You get 35 to 1. You get 3,500 back. And I would do is I bet 3,000, put 500 in my pocket, and if you hit $100 again, you win 3,500 again for putting 3,000. You keep pressing it. And that's how people do it in roulette. All of a sudden you bet 200 a number. Next time it hits, you win 7,000. And that's how people roll up a roulette win, is by pressing your bets.
Sounds like you have a gambling problem to go along.
Oh,
with,
I did that.
to go along with anger management issues.
I went to the table. I was betting $25 on a bunch of numbers. I won $12.50. Then I bet the $12.50 on a few numbers. I started betting 100. Then I win 3,500. And then I went to $200 a number. And you close your eyes, and all of a sudden you win 7,000. Then I bet 3,000, keep 4 in my pocket, and you hit one more time again for 200 on it. You walk away with 15,000 in a few minutes in roulette. That's 5 spins.
All right, the top 10 athletes who wore the number 7: Randall Cunningham, number 10; number 9, Michael Vick; Number 8, Ray Bork, whoever that is.
Hockey player from the Bruins.
Number 7, Ivan Pudgy Rodriguez. Number 6, Pete Maravich. Number 5, Carmelo Anthony, whoever that is.
Oh, he was the worst, that guy.
Number 4, Barry Bonds.
Barry Bonds, what, number 7?
Yeah, number 3, John Elway. And number 2, Mickey Mantle. And number 1 is, can you guess?
No, number one was Mickey Mantle, but go ahead.
Number 1 is still active, the world's most popular player of the world's most popular sport, Cristiano Ronaldo. Number 1. Forward.
He's number 7?
He wears number 7, yeah.
All right. Well, growing up, everybody was a Mickey Mantle fan. You know, I was a young kid. We always went to Yankee Stadium to see the old.
I said yesterday, I thought he had 540 home runs. His lifetime stats: 298 batting average, 536 home runs, and 1,509 RBIs.
And I have to tell you the best story, the Mickey Mantle story. I met Mickey Mantle one time, and this is a true story.
How big was his hand when he shook your hand? It was probably pretty big.
I didn't shake his hand. When you hear the story, you're going to say, "Oh my God!" I was in Dallas, and I went to a golf club, and it was a very exclusive golf club. I had a hedge fund. He took me in there, and they were playing cards in the locker room.
Yeah.
And Mickey Mantle was part of the card game. And Mickey Mantle was sitting with no clothes on. I mean, Mickey Mantle with no clothes on. And they were playing cards.
Oh, he was losing. It was probably Liar's Poker. So
I didn't say anything. I said, "Nice to meet you." What am I going to say?
You said, "Nice bat."
Is that bat? Is that the bat you use? I walked out and I told the guy, "Are you crazy? I got to meet Mickey Mantle with no clothes on." And that was a true story, another crazy story. But that's Wall Street for you, you know. And you know, we always look at these athletes as though they're, you know, they're angels from heaven. You know, they're just regular people. You know, they're all crazy, and this is what life's about. But the criminals, listen, I knew a lot of criminals growing up. Okay, I came from a bad area, and you know, criminals were, you know, they didn't rob people. They just didn't rob everybody. They, whatever their prey was, it was a business. Whatever it wasn't the people standing on the street. These guys figured it out. If they take $1 from millions and millions of people, they make much more money and go below the radar. But they couldn't take $1. Now they want all your money, and that's where the problem now. Now they're exposed because we all know the game. They were stealing pennies, then they went to quarters, now $1. They went from small caps to mid caps to big caps, and now the game over the years has evolved into where it's like a siphon, and now the game's over because now everybody knows.
This gentleman Rayner is thanking Not Legal Advice for his great video last night. But he talks about he mentions the stock Sava, SAVA, and he says it's a tragedy that the criminals are destroying this company with the most promising AD. I don't know what AD drug with two. I don't know what AD drug is, but it's got.
There was a story about that the other day. SAVA, I forgot.
What's AD? Is that advanced stages of dementia like I have, or is
I think it was the Alzheimer's drug.
Alzheimer's, yeah.
Yeah, that my father used to call it old-timers disease.
Old-timers.
That's what he used to call. My dad used to go out as he got older. We used to go out to an Italian restaurant, and he used to go, "Give me the Tina Marie." We're like, "What the hell is a Tina Marie?" And that was his way of saying tiramisu. But
well, it's a terrible thing.
They don't care about anything. I keep telling you. I tell you every day.
I spoke with a former CEO earlier today at length, and I'm not going to.
William, let me ask you this question.
But what the shorts did is awful.
Let me just stop. let me stop you for a second, William, because people say this to me all the time. People say to me on Twitter, "Do you still talk to brokers and money managers?" I said, "That's what I do." William, when he's not entertaining you or educating you, he speaks for people that are in the field, like a CEO of a company, and he's educating them. So yes, me and William just don't hang up the phone and just look at the wall. We continue to educate new people
Speak
to
for
understand
yourself.
crime, and we don't demand that anyone buy the stock. What we do demand is that you understand it and spread the word about naked short selling, and that it's counterfeiting, and they are terrorists to the American financial system.
Well, and here's the problem. I don't know anything about Sava or its financing. David says they have the best drug for Alzheimer's. But David, if they've done a deal with the criminals, whether, all different manners of essentially a toxic convertible note or warrants or it doesn't matter how good that drug is. The stock's doomed. And that's just terrible. It's just terrible.
I tell you that all the time. So they could care less. They care less about their own parents, their own relatives. The whole thing is complete. It's disgusting. And I keep telling you that. Listen, I'm a disgusting guy like everyone else. All right. But when it comes to saving people's lives, and give me how could you even, I'm appalled by seeing this stuff. My friend's dad recently died of Alzheimer's. He forgot how to eat. My uncle had Alzheimer's. I mean, what? They don't care about anything. I never seen anything like it in my life.
Well, luckily they are never going to have Alzheimer's because they're so rich. They're never going to have it.
Right. They think they're going to take their money with you. The Egyptians tried that, right? That doesn't work.
This guy's got a sense of humor. I don't know who Aaron Donalds is, but he's hoping that the stock price gets to Aaron Donalds' number, 99. Pretty good comment. I see. Come Out 7 says, "What will help to start the Univest buy?" We don't know. They're not doing it for us, and I don't know if Univest is going to be the buyer. Maybe it's one of their investors. Maybe it's we don't. The answer is we don't know. But there's an S3 there, so they're involved. We know they're involved, but we just don't know how.
I spoke to someone last night, and they said, stop thinking about hedge funds funding the company when it squeezes. Corporate partners, once you get a corporate partner involved, all right, it's game over, because now they know you have a deep pocket partner. All right. Once you get that partnership, the game changes. And I was trying to think of a stock that I recently, saw a partnership in it. Once you get these guys on board, it takes all the downside out. The shorts go away because they know that anytime that the investor wants to increase their ownership or fund it or give them more revenue, whatever the partnership is, they drive these companies to the moon. And that's the beauty of, hopefully, that these guys can get those telecoms to get them involved in the company. And that's what I hope that's the way it goes, not, some other stupid investment, some guy just putting up $10 million, $20 million. That doesn't mean anything. Money doesn't mean anything. It's the partnership is the most important thing. To me, anyway, that's how I look at it.
This Sava is interesting. I don't, David, I don't know. I don't know what the financing is. I just want to reiterate, if they've signed a toxic convertible note, nobody knows what the denominator is anymore. So the stock just becomes doomed. It's terrible. But David, I'm willing to fight for that stock. So afterwards, let me know. Go through Busy Brands. I like that Alzheimer's drug. All right. I'm looking for other questions. Someone's asking about Webull. There's no deal in Sava, and brokers have a prices of over $100. But I wonder why they're attacking. They don't attack unless they're protected. David, they don't have any courage. They'd all be queens because they don't have any balls. They don't take the risks that they ask you to take. They are always hedged. That's my opinion. Anyway.
That's what they do. And I just wanted to change the subject for a second, everyone. Tonight, Busy Brands has Robert Shapiro.
5:30.
He crafted with the SEC reg show. He told them that they had loopholes, and you can hear his I think there was a soundbite for him on Twitter. You can listen to him. I met Mr. Shapiro a long time ago. Great guy. He worked in the Clinton administration. So this is a real guy. Unlike us, he comes from a different world, the political world. And, I want people to ask Busy questions. And my questions are to Robert, is that this crime is going on. Who the hell do we have to go to get some movement on this thing? You're in the government. You work in the government. Who do we have to go to? Enough of this. This is going on a long time. He's been around 20 years talking about this nonsense. He worked on Reg Show. How many SEC commissioners look the other way? It's time to throw them under the bus. Their legacies should be ruined for allowing this to happen. Think of how many lives they ruined while they were in charge of the SEC. And to me, those are questions I put up about United Airlines. There's probably 200,000 people who worked at United Airlines that lost everything due to security fraud. When the company went to zero, it was naked short of the zero. I put this story up there. I put the story about The Economist in 2011, June 2011, where they talked about the regulators are rattled by all the unsettled trades. That was 2011. Okay, it's almost 2024. And we're still trying to figure out a way for someone to step up and take care of this problem. Those are the questions that Shapiro, I don't want to hear him babbling about blah, 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 blah. We need to have hard questions, and please text them to Busy Brands. Give them like 20, 30 good questions that we can answer, that you want to answer to. Don't just let them say the same stuff. Ask the questions you want answered.
Right.
Is that good enough, William?
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. I'm trying to collect good questions here. There's more comment on Sava. So guys, I like that story. I'd like to go after these because everyone had anyway. But we'll focus here on these stocks first. Look at this: 1,000 people. Sorry, 1 million people in the United States die every year because of Alzheimer's. It's terrible. Here's a decent question: why? And Gerald Ham tried to create a new exchange, and I'll let him briefly describe that. But Gerald asks, why don't they just use blockchain on the market, in the market?
I spent $200,000 of my own money. I raised it for my friends, family. I flew to Abu Dhabi. I had permission to actually won I won the FinTech Award in Abu Dhabi 3 years ago. But the government is not run by residents of Abu Dhabi. It's run by outsiders. So it's very difficult to get things done there. For example, like the people that were running their securities and exchange there were people from Australia and the UK. And after a year of getting all this stuff to where I needed it, they leave and they change, and there's someone else in charge then. So it's very difficult to deal with on that aspect. And I gave up because of that. I pitched Saudi Arabia, and they said, why do you want to come here? I says, because I know you're going to treat the criminals the right way.
Chop off their left hand first.
Right. And they laughed and they said, and I was talking to a woman, and she was the lead regulator there. And I said, the American Stock Exchange is all fraud. And she goes, we all know that. That was her response. And I couldn't believe it. That's what she said to me. And, at that time they passed on it. William has been telling me to go back there because they want to turn that country into a, I guess, a Dubai with the big financial, and they want to turn their country around and get people to make it a destination place like Dubai. So, maybe I'll go back and try it. But again, I set it up where there's buy, sell, no short selling at all, and settled in blockchain. So there'd be no fraudulent activity at all. All right. This is what needs to be done. Short selling, as you can see, the criminal activity is done where? In stock loan. What is the SEC attacking now? Stock loan. I've been saying it. John Tobacco worked in stock loan. Could someone ask him to give up the people that he knows that are bad in stock loan? Because stock loan is now the source of criminal activity, which is the SEC now telling us, hey, this is where the problem lies, in stock loan, and which is what I've been saying, stock loan. And if you think about it, why would I block out stock loan? Imagine having two sheiks, or sheikhs as they call them, in Abu Dhabi, and they both want to short a stock, and there's only 100,000 shares. Who's going to tell him that he can't have 100,000? There's only 100 to lend out. So obviously they'll fabricate the next 100 to make sure that he's not upset with him. So again, that's what happens in the U.S. If you have Stevie Cohen and, the guy from Citadel, Ken Griffin as your client, and they both want to short 1 million shares of a stock, and they both pay a ton of money in commissions to you, you're going to do whatever you can to get them that stock. And that's where the fraud lies.
Mm-hmm.
That's the stock loan story.
So anyway, let's see if there's any questions. This is interesting, and I'm sorry to keep bringing this up, but it hits me. David is saying this is the last time you'll hear about this on Sava because Big Pharma is behind the attack. And maybe the reason it reminds me of the story you always tell him, where they drive it down and then somebody buys them out.
It happens all the time. You raise all the money. You raise all the money. You use all the resources you have. Get this down the road, and when you're 99% complete, they destroy your stock, and then they scoop up your assets for pennies on the dollar. And you say to me, "You're full of shit. That doesn't happen. You're making shit up, you moron." Well, I'll go back in time. There was a company called Force Protection, FRPT. It was trading up to $30 a share. They made a military truck that had a V-shaped hull, meaning that when you drove over a mine, when it exploded, the explosion went to both sides, and instead of going straight up and blowing up all these soldiers' legs, it would go out to the side. They were getting all kinds of orders from the military, and the naked shorts drove it down to $3. Pat Byrne, I brought it to his attention. He did a whole story on it. And eventually it was taken over by, I think it's Northrop Grumman or General Dynamics, I forgot. You could probably Google it. It was taken over at $5.62. So imagine if you were the guy that designed this, worked 10 years building this truck up to make a lot of money, and all of a sudden you sold out all your dreams. Everyone who worked there got out at $5.62. And General Dynamics or Northrop Grumman, I forget which one, acquired everything they had for $5.62 as the white knight. Think about that. Everyone thinks they were the savior, but sounds to me like they just basically stole the company. And if you go to deepcapture.com, you can see it. FRPT, you can read it. Pat Byrne actually has the fails to deliver that shows the explosion of the fails to deliver. And what happens when you get the explosions of fail to deliver? The stock prices go straight down. It's the old supply and demand curve. So again, Pat Byrne put it up there, very nice. That was a long time ago. I gave him that story.
Okay. Let's see what other questions are coming in from your discerning audience. One guy, Rick Galante, is pointing out that maybe we need to support Finger and GTII at the same time because they trade at the same time. Maybe.
I have no idea why that happens. I think it's tied to when they did the story in Zero Hedge, because that's when the thing changed. All right, so I don't know why, but that Zero Hedge story created or linked these two together forever. I don't know why. So I look at it this way: Finger motion to me, all of a sudden, I told it, you know, I think it was based on the benchmark story that the stock was trading at 2. They came out and said the stock is worth 5. And I said to everybody, why wouldn't we buy the stock up to 5? Because we know it's worth 5 plus. And then we got to 5 plus, and the company comes out with tremendous earnings, and now the thing's in play, and the short's in trouble. And this, as William always says, the market always gives you the hint of what's going to happen, right?
It does seem to do that.
So why not go with what's ready to go? Everybody can make a lot of money, and then we can circle back with fresh funds. If you had $100, all of a sudden you come back and you got $5,000. We're going to be much more powerful to the next short seller, and that's what's going on. I'm sure the SEC isn't thrilled about that, because we're premeditating our attack, but we're telling everybody before. So,
all right, let's see what else. Something brewing. Okay. AMC's making new highs. I don't know what a P.
where is AMC at?
It says it's at 1020.
I forgot they did that reverse. You know, I keep seeing P from Philly fighting with what's his name? That old Wall Street Journal reporter that's basically washed up now. What's his name? Gasparino. And for some reason, that guy keeps trying to piss on AMC and their holders. I don't know why. What's his axe to grind in the stock? I don't know. But again, the company, you know, the CEO didn't fight for everybody. That's my only disagreement with it. I'm a movie guy. I make my donation all the time to support AMC. I always go. And they had this Taylor Swift thing, and people bought tickets, and they bought popcorn, and they went and had a good time. Why wouldn't people want to celebrate, reward the company for doing something good? They had a blockbuster summer, and the stock goes nowhere. So basically, Wall Street is about just destroying. So it's just unbelievable, and you get no reward. So the only thing I can tell you to do is fight back, fight the naked shorts. That's the best business model in the world: is squeeze the naked shorts out, and you get rewarded. You can always buy fundamentals later. Go out. If I was the CEO of a company and got squeezed, AMC should have closed down all their theaters and just bought stock in Berkshire Hathaway. That's what it should have did. And we're going to do nothing. We're going to do nothing. We turn the AMC theaters, we closed them down. He raised $500 million. We used all the money to buy Berkshire Hathaway stock, and we're going to follow at what he does. That's it. What are they going to do? Yell at him? Right?
Yeah, I'm just looking. There's a lot of sort of questions off topic, which, man, this Sava, 80% of patients, I don't know what P3 is, but my point is it looks like it has good results. I'd love to help them. Screw the shorts. Somebody's saying AMC should be way higher. I don't know about that.
I just told you what's happening there.
This is the more true statement from Talat. In U.S. equity markets, a company doesn't just have to focus on growing, but also on fighting the shorts. That encapsulates it.
It's impossible. These companies have no idea. Their lawyers work against them. The lawyers tell, and I'm sure MULN, when I spoke to the guy before he did all these crazy reverses, I spoke to his lawyers, and I'm sure they talked him out of doing something crazy. But then they had no choice because the stock was still going down after the reverses. So lawyers they don't understand it. They can't believe the system is upside down like this. They don't believe it. The SEC is going to come after you if you speak. That's the mentality. So I look at it this way. If you don't fight, then you're wasting your time. If I was a CEO, I shut down all operations and just attack the naked shorts, because the only way out is to buy the stock.
Right. Right. When they start buying, will they use computers to buy if they start buying, and all the AI intelligence, the algorithms that go along with it? I don't know.
Well, no matter what they're using, a computer, a Quotron, a Bunker Rainbow from my friend Mia Hutton, that's how old he is. It doesn't make a difference. The one thing that's in common is they have to buy the stock. Means take the offer, buy the stock, and close out their positions. So whatever they want to do, they have to buy the stock. They're not in the business. They're going to be buying 5,000 shares, selling 4,000 shares, and an algorithm. At the end of the day, as long as there's more buying than selling, the stock is going up.
I remember Bunker Ramos because Ferris Baker Watts, when I would go next door to meet, try to say hi to the friend I had there, they shared Bunker Ramos. They had one for a bunch of brokers. Man, that brings up memories. These questions are going downward. Will we ever get the bastards up against the wall? I don't know.
Yes, I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes for $10. So I was like, Jeopardy, we're going to get them for $10. Listen, we're not going away. They're trapped. People, I know you think that you haven't won yet, but the writing is on the wall. They're telling you. The stock is telling you they're dead.
I like how this guy thinks. Vincent Mancini, he says the MULN lawyers were probably planted by BlackRock. I like how you think. That's quite possible.
He said the MULN, right?
Yeah, MULN.
I spoke with the attorney from Boston, a very nice guy, an English guy, very nice guy. But after I spoke with him, I'm sure he hung up the phone and said, "Hey, these guys are crazy. You're nuts to do this. I can't sign off on this." That's what they all say. They say the same thing because they have no idea. And I was educating the guy about naked shorts, and I guess it went over his head. I don't know. I told you I educated the biggest law firm, one of the best law firms, Morgan Lewis Bacchius, about naked short selling, and they thought we were crazy. I told them the stock settlement system is broken, and they're like, "Come on, what are you, nuts?" And then we showed them, and then they said, "Oh my God, you're right." And that's when we figured it out. You guys do realize, that I think that we're one more attack through 7. I think it's going to set it off. That's my belief. Because every time we get up there, today we got to 698, maybe. I'm not sure. Did we get to 699?
Yeah, but I think we're at 680 now. I didn't look, but let me look.
Yeah, no, it doesn't make a difference where we are, but it's like we're going up and they push it down quick because they can't have it. They can't have it living around that $7 range. I told you, once we break 7, the market makers on the options, the 7 calls, which I don't know the open interest on those, they'll start buying the stock. The short seller does not want the option market makers buying the stock because that just brings in more buying into it. What's the value on, William, I'm in the car driving to get my wife and her boyfriend. So what is the value?
Now, when you meet the boyfriends, make sure you comment on their shoes and how nice their hair looks.
And I'm going to ask you, what side of the bed do you sleep on?
No, don't ask that. They'll let you know. You'll be able to tell who's
I'm going to tell them, listen, William, I'm going to tell them, listen, I don't give a shit what happens. I get the remote. That's what I'm going to say.
You'll be able to tell which one's frou-frou and which one you can talk football with. Soccer. It'll have to be soccer.
What is the volume in the stock?
Let me see. Hang on, relax, everybody. It's 675, and
That's the volume?
no, your mama.
The stock, the price.
675, 670 to 678. The volume is 571,770 shares.
So we're on our way again to a million share a day again.
The high on the day was 698. The low was 641, and that's where we are.
All you have to do is write it down. If they thought they could win, why are they so concerned to move it away from 7? If I was the short seller, I would have let this thing run through 7, run through 8, and then shorted more so I can get my average up and somehow figure a way out of this trade. But they can't do it, and they keep piling on in the same spots, trying to push it lower, and it doesn't work. I just told you, there's smart people accumulating it. And they don't accumulate, and they don't care if they buy it at 650, 690, it doesn't make a difference to them. They can tell. Wall Street can tell.
Somebody's pointing out there's 4,500 calls for October at 7, 3,200 at 9, 10,000 at 10, and I guess 4,500 also at 8. Anyway, he's pointing that out.
Yeah, those guys are short against those calls, and they don't want those stocks. Once it goes through those numbers, those guys will start buying the stock.
I just thought of the Family Guy scene where he's directing a movie and he asks for the gay guys, and the first set were too tame. He said, "No, the really gay guys," and the one guy said, "Yoo-hoo." That's what you have to practice saying is yoo-hoo. Anyway, we're just having fun. Being gay's okay. I'm not. When I was younger, I used to wonder, well, that's going to be lonely when they get older. So the payback is I'm lonely when I'm older. You can't make comments like that.
Yes, you can. We don't care. It's okay. And I'm sure anyone that's gay understands. It's just a joke.
It's not. I'm not.
Richard, it's not legal advice. We're sorry for offending you.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. KNOT. Not that there's anything wrong with that. That should be the name of his newsletter.
Right. Well, listen, I really appreciate people like that and everyone that he's brought to the table and their opinions and what they see. And this is what's going to break it. Everyone's going to be part of history here. And I don't care who says anything. This is history.
I'm gonna go out and buy the website Not Funny, KNOT funny.com. And I'll save it for when Richard is famous, and I know he'll want that website.
Well, listen, he's not a securities attorney. But for someone that's not a securities attorney, he sort of has the mindset on how damaging it is security fraud.
He told you your apology is not accepted. He said it's rejected.
Well, again.
I didn't know he's not a securities attorney, but he, just like Mark Bazile, and maybe Rosa as well, and maybe there's another attorney named Howard. What's great about Richard is he sees it. He sees what's going on. He doesn't necessarily need it all entered into evidence and proven. he gets it, and then he's going after them, and I think it's tremendous what he offers.
Oh, no, everyone from busy brands, you know, he was a military guy. He understands it. Everybody, honor this guy, that person. Everyone taught themselves and educated themselves. I mean, I think you guys know more than me at this point.
Well, that's Busy's amazing, and he stays focused on what we're trying to accomplish, and he's constantly moving it forward. One of the great things about Busy is he's there to help everyone.
And he's a great drink. He's a good drinker. He loves to drink.
Oh, I didn't know
that. He actually drinks what they call it. I think they call the term. He's double fisted. He drinks with both hands. He's righty and lefty when he drinks.
I already had all I can drink, so I'll just have to watch.
Any other questions? Again,
Talat is asking.
Take a break today.
This would be probably a good question for you to leave on. Go get your hair done. Make sure you wear matching socks. Make sure your shirt is ironed for when you meet your wife's new friends, quote unquote friends. Talat wants to know, why, Ham, are you so sure that Finger will eventually squeeze? Shorts keep counterfeiting out of thin air. That could go on forever, couldn't it?
I agree with you 1,000%. It's a great question. But my only answer to that would be, if they thought they can win, why don't they let it go higher? Wouldn't you make more money selling stocks short at 30? It's free money. We can do this forever. Why do it here at 7? Why do I need to do it at 6 3/4? Why wouldn't I want to do this at 30 or 40 bucks? Imagine selling millions of shares at 40 bucks. Boy, we could become Warren Buffett doing that trade all day, because they can't win. That's the answer.
And
did I answer that one okay?
You did a good job. You did a good job. What's the objective of the S3?
It's very simple. Listen, people, I didn't know what an S3 was until they filed this stupid thing, and everybody taught me about it. That's I wasn't on the corporate side, so I didn't do the financing like this. I had nothing to do with that type of stuff. And most people will tell you, if you're in equities, you don't know about bonds. If you're in equities, you may not know about options. I worked on the option desk, and I worked on the block trading desk. So I learned about options, and I learned about equities. I wasn't on the OTC desk, so I didn't know how the market makers work. But the more I knew about it, the more I said, oh, these guys are just crooks. They're shooting against everybody's orders. We were not allowed to do that.
One guy here is a complete shill. I'm not going to put his question up again, but I'll read it to you. He says he is a 5% holder of Finger, and he doesn't want to trigger a filing. But trust me on this. Management have told me they will dilute to all hell. So get out while you can. The only reason I bring that up, you can comment. You're obviously over the target. They're obviously bringing out the guns. This is a fake name, and I don't believe a word of your comment. But why don't you answer the question? Is management of Finger going to dilute shareholders all to hell?
Yes, they just put that in a. They said, "Hey, everybody."
You faded out. You faded out. You faded out. You're gone. You're gone. Anyway, they put out a press release that they're not going to raise money down here. So
what's that? The company said that, correct?
Yeah, it said it. Yeah.
So why would you even come out and say something stupid? I mean, what are you, 12 years old?
Hey, they're just trying to get a rise out of me. They know they know how flappable I am. They're trying to get a rise out of me.
Listen, that is a stupid question. Stupid question. It's a stupid statement. and move along. Go someplace else. There's other stocks you can beat up. There's 100 stocks, thousands of stocks that the shareholders have no control over what's going on. You can go manipulate them. Go knock yourself out. Don't manipulate Jeffries. Jeffries is diluting the stock. The president's selling it. There's security fraud in there, and it's $35 on the downside. Go have fun. What are you doing here? Go say whatever you want there. Go bash that company.
Yeah, exactly. Hang on, I'm trying to send Busy an invite. All right, I'm done. So Ham,
Busy tonight, 5:30. Robert Shapiro. Listen, there's plenty of great questions you need to ask Robert Shapiro. Please, he's not a stock guy. He's not going to be able to answer all the stupid questions that I'm answering. What's the price target? What's this? Is the one question would be, with the SEC, are they afraid of forcing settlement because of?
I don't. Yeah, go ahead. You're driving through a zone.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, there you go.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. So Ham, say what you want. I have to go use the loo quickly, and I'll be right back.
I'm going to sing a couple of songs when you're gone.
Yeah, sing a song or just talk about something.
All right. Again, William, make sure you pull the chain. That's the most important thing when you're done with your business. Right. And again, everyone, the people I'm speaking to, all right, that have reached out to me, asked me questions, I spin what I understand. I don't. I'll advise you. Otherwise, I'm not sitting here soliciting people. All right, people out. I get invited to a lot of breakfasts lately, and people want to sit down and understand it. It's like understanding a computer. I don't know everything about the new titanium phone, so if I wanted to get involved, I would find someone who understood Apple. This is about security. Brokers don't understand it. Most brokers believe that their own firms are shooting against them and their clients, because the broker's interest is to help make money for his client and hopefully charge him a commission and make yourself a nice career of having a big book, as we call it, of clients. Wall Street's just basically destroying everybody's clients, and the brokers on Wall Street are now down to, as they call it, they're just raising money, and they want it to be managed money. So Morgan Stanley has their brokers not recommending any stocks anymore. They have them doing what? They have them go out, raise money from clients or investors, and put it in a pool and have a Morgan Stanley money manager run it. And they tell you, hey, raise us $100 million, put it with our money manager. You get paid a percentage of the win or an override, and you don't have to sit around all day and watch the stock market and let the money manager do what they're doing. That's Wall Street now. Old Wall Street was that brokers would go out and find something that they believed in and take a shot on it for a client. They could buy a stock at $5 and hopefully it goes to 20. But now they just they all do the same thing, and which is buy Apple computer, whatever they do. So it's a different game these days. And William, that we're talking about is managed money.
Right.
Before brokers needed to come up with ideas and actually present it to their clients, maybe go to a trade show and see what a company's about. If you go to a trade show now, you'll see 40 people there. Before, there were 4,000 people there. That's how much Wall Street has changed.
Not Legal Advice says that Shapiro should come up with a catchy slogan like, if the glove fits, you must acquit, something about the shorts. Actually, he didn't say that. He did say ask about the OJ case.
That's the wrong Shapiro.
Listen,
Wrong Shapiro, Busy says. Busy is here.
I think some of the questions for Mr. Shapiro should be about what his experience with the regulators and why are they tap dancing around this for 20 something years that he knows of.
Hey,
That's
Ham.
the most important. That's the most
So Busy
important
has a
question.
question, I think, for you, Hamster.
No, I mean, I'll give you guys a little tidbits. Here's going to be one of the questions I have here in front of my screen. What do you see as the greatest threat to the integrity of the U.S. capital markets? Lack of enforcement, exemptions, and loopholes, fraud, leveraging U.S. treasuries by the Fed to create liquidity in the secondary market.
D, all of the above.
How has Rexho fallen short, especially in regards to administering the principle of supply and demand in the name of liquidity?
Say that one again.
Those are the,
This is just a few questions that are going to be asked.
Okay.
So I don't want to give all the questions, but I have a few of them. It's going to go for an hour. I just got off the phone with him about 30 minutes ago. He has all the study material in regards of MMTOP. He has the timeline. He has the FINRA FAQs. He has the many links to Senator Crapo's questioning when he was grilled. He was grilling Gary Gensler for his 5 minutes. We also sent him the link to Ralph Norman. What else did we send him? The interview with Al from Boston, with John Berta. So he's well acquainted in MMTOP situation, but some of these also not only is going to be in regards to MMTOP, but as what's going on with Rexho, the many loopholes. So, you know, kudos to Savvy, kudos to Curtis, kudos to 100 and Huckleberry. We spent a lot of time this weekend composing all these questions and being extremely professional with Mr. Robert Shapiro and Wes Christian. That's the way you got to be, guys, because if we are extremely professional with these other professionals in the industry, they will not hesitate to come back and actually share their knowledge with us in the future.
hey, listen, number one, he's not a professional. Okay. Now get that through your head. All right. Can you hear me, guys? Can you hear me,
Yeah,
man?
you're quiet, but we can hear you.
All right. He's not a professional. He's a politician. All right.
When I say professional, you know what I mean, Ham.
He's not a professional. Ask him point blank. Do you have any family members that have died of cancer or Alzheimer's? Yes or no? They'll say yes. How could anybody how could they let them destroy these type of stocks? Next thing, have you or any of your family members have been ripped off by naked shorts in the equity market? You guys, do you play the equity market? Have you ever bought stocks? Can you tell us about your experience? Do you see anything? Ask him that. Then you'll know whether he's a professional or not. He's not a professional. He's a politician. He's a politician, and you're asking him politician questions, which I got it. I got it. He's a good guy. I'm just trying to say, but don't think that you're not going to get, it's not legal advice.
What your point is, he doesn't necessarily know the intricate details of Wall Street.
He couldn't tell you if SAVA was being naked shorting or that the company has poor fundamentals. It couldn't hit him in the head. He wouldn't know if it hit him in the head.
But he understands the issues, and he studied the issues broadly, the concepts.
That is true.
That's why we have Wes Christian in there for.
That's what. Don't drag him into questions. Well, what do you think about this stock and blah 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 blah? You need to stay on what he's an expert in. He's an expert at a higher level. For example, how could it be possible that SEC commissioner after SEC commissioner has done nothing? And the cover of Forbes from 1988, how could that be going on? They all know about it. You were part of Reg Show. What happened at Reg Show? Why were they designing Reg Show? Was there a problem? Yes, there was a problem. What was the problem that everybody was so concerned about? All right, they all know about it. So if there is a problem and we all know about it, how come they continue to let it go on? It's 2024. Mr. Shapiro, you started this thing. You were about 45 years old. How old are you now? 90?
He's been at it longer than you have.
No, he hasn't. He came in behind me.
With similar results.
He came in behind me. He came in behind me, and he popped up on the scene. And we all thought the same thing that everyone's thinking today. Oh my God, we got a real professional. He's not a professional. He's a politician.
Well, maybe we should have you do the interview.
Maybe you should come on and go back.
I don't give. Listen, I got to take my wife and her 2 boyfriends out tonight. I got to entertain them.
Busy might have some advice for how to handle that.
I got to move my clothes into my tent.
What the hell did you do, Ham?
Well, again, I just want you to understand that what he's about. He's a great guy. Susan Trimbath is a great person, but she speaks in circles that you would never even understand. All right, she's too deep. I break it down to the bottom. This is called counterfeiting, plain and simple. How does the U.S. the Secret Service allow counterfeiting of this magnitude and no one does anything about it for this long? Everybody knows trillions of dollars are being stolen from U.S. pension funds, first responders, even their own accounts. The Secret Service, FBI, they all have pension accounts. They're all being robbed. And no one says anything about it.
So here's a Finger question. How does Finger position itself competitively in the highly saturated mobile payment market in China? And what partnerships or alliances has it formed to ensure sustained growth and market share capture? Here's a report from Benchmark. And if Ham doesn't want to answer it, I don't blame him. But the report from Benchmark is dated June 22nd, 2023. And I recommend you read that if you want the answers to your question.
How did the highly competitive?
It says it's highly saturated. And
so here it is. So he doesn't understand it because he hasn't been around for 5 years in the stock. Finger Motion was given this license because Alibaba and Tencent got caught with their hand in the cookie jar. All right. So the Chinese government needed to get someone in here they can trust. And you say, what did Alibaba and Tencent do to upset the Chinese government? Well, they were selling $1 billion, for example, $1 billion of prepaid phone cards at 99 cents to Alibaba. A businessman would buy them, okay, from Alibaba, then leave the country and sell them online in, let's say, Singapore. They would sell them online in Singapore, and the money would be transferred from China to Singapore, and the money was laundered out of the country. And that's why the Chinese government looked for somebody else to take control and be part of that top-up business. And that's what I was told 5 years ago, is why Finger Motion, out of the blue, hit the lottery and was given that license to get top-up business. They just didn't get it walking down the street and someone say, hey, guys, you want a top-up license? The reason it was fraud by Alibaba, and if you go back in time, the top officials at Alibaba were taking care. What was the guy's name? Jack Ma.
Hey, good memory. Good memory.
They all got in trouble. They all got in trouble for what they were doing.
Wow.
And I thought that was the greatest opportunity. And the company has been growing to take over that whole business, because once the Chinese government protects you or can see that you're doing the right thing, the Chinese government, like everyone else, does not like what? Change. No one likes change. So if it's working, they do not like change. And that's what Finger Motion evolved into and it's going to become the biggest player in China on the top-up business as time goes on.
And what partnerships or alliances do they have? Maybe you could go over those potential investors as well, but you couldn't go through the names.
China Mobile, China Unicon, Munich Re, Pacific Life Re, AIZ. These are people that have partnerships with them already, okay? And that will only grow, all right? This is what they're about. If people want to get into China, they have to go through finger motion. Finger motion is the gateway into China for these companies. They're not going out with finger motion because they're good looking. They got the connection into China, 1.6 billion people.
One guy wants you to compare.
Did I answer that question?
I thought you did a great job on that question. And I think the big thing that Finger has ahead of it that's not being considered is this so-called Apple Care. China has rolled out 5G in it province by province. And as people upgrade their phones to 5G phones, 1.5 billion phones, it is mandated, not optional, mandated. They have to buy a warranty. Finger has the #1 insurance company in the world for warranties out of New York City. And apparently it's going to cost $100 a year, no option. And for every customer Finger manages, they get $25. And that's high margin. So that's
included in the monthly payment. And the Chinese government is mandating this insurance for one reason. They're mandating it because everyone needs to depend on what? They're depending on their cell phones. There is no more money in China. It's all use of the cell phones. If you have no cell phone, the people are useless. They can't do anything. So they're making sure that if your phone does break, you are covered and that you cannot just walk around and starve to death. You need to have a phone so that you can actually use it to buy things. Now, the breakdown of that contract, so everybody understands it, the breakdown is going to be $100 a year. $50 is going to go to AIZ because AIZ has to repair the phones. AIZ and this contract is taking time because AIZ has to build out places where they can get their phones serviced. You know, they have to make arrangements throughout China so that if you break your phone, you know where to go. You got your local AT&T or Verizon store in the US. They're going to have to find the local, whatever it's going to be called, to repair their phones in China. So AIZ gets 50 and Finger Motion gets 25 and the China Mobiles get 25. So I don't know if you do the math, but it's pretty massive once this gets going.
So I think that's an example of rapid technological change or revenue change in Finger. But he follows up by asking you, and I'll read it carefully because it's written like a research. It's written like a a report you'd hand in.
This guy must be the analyst that published the fake report looking for information.
I don't know, but he says it could be. He says, given the rapidly evolving technological landscape, and obviously that's a given, how is Finger investing in innovation to stay ahead of the curve in the mobile payment sector?
Well, the mobile payment sector in China is pretty basic. You have to buy minutes. It's no great shakes to what they're doing. You have to buy minutes, and the minutes are added to your phone. They call it a top up. What is the advancement in here? The Chinese government allows people like Finger Motion to buy it for 99 cents and sell it for $1. That's it.
I'll read from the research report by Fong Zhang and Long Lin. Mobile top-up business serves as stable and growing source of revenue and a gateway for data collection. Mobile top-up surface in China is a large and highly fragmented market with a high barrier to entry. Only licensed players are allowed to offer the services, and they often operate at subscale due to their lack of capital. Finger's long-standing partnerships with China Mobile, China Unicom, coupled with its proven proprietary technology, offer a stable and visible source of revenue with ample headroom for growth should the company have access to incremental funding. More importantly, the top-up services enable data collection, which has laid the foundation for the commercialization of its value-added service, VAS, and big data products down the road. Growth is set to accelerate, bolstered by imminent commercialization of its value-added services and big data. Highly leveraged model promises substantial earnings power ahead. With the revenue mix shifting toward value-added service and big data, we foresee a notable boost to the blended gross profit margins this year and next, which is already showing up.
Well, that was very detailed. And I gave you that the bigger Finger Motion gets, the less Alibaba and Tencent will have anything to do with the top-up business. The bigger they get, the more entrenched they get. Chinese government doesn't like change. All right. And I heard this 5 years ago. So again, and since that time, they've now have the SMS top-up SMS business. And they are now working on, hold on a second. They got the SMS business now, which is they
also have RCM, the rich content messaging, which is designed solely for 5G, and it's the next level. It's beautiful videos, rich content, as it says. So that's the next generation, and it's highly profitable. So that's an innovation.
It sounds to me like they're ahead of the curve already. So
it sounds like they're innovating to stay ahead of the curve.
And guess what? The barrier to get into it is impossible.
It's the trust you build with the government, basically, and they're already there.
That's exactly right. They have the trust of the government. The government trusts them so much that they're allowed to scrub the data on all the people that have that have phones with them. Does that sound like someone they don't trust?
No.
The most secretive thing in China is the telecoms. They don't want everybody to know what's going on with the people in China. And yet Finger Motion has that access.
With increased, Finger offers SMS services, blah, 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 blah. With increasing mobile network upgrades to 5G globally, rich communication services, RCS, is expected to replace SMS in light of its capacity to not only support person-to-person messaging, but also application-to-person messaging. A2P messaging enables businesses and brands to communicate with users via chatbot, and it facilitates the sharing of high-quality videos and more direct interfacing with the internet. This enables consumers to bypass app downloads for direct transactions and offers brands a new marketing channel to acquire, retain, and serve their customers. Finger has completed the development of its RCS platform. We are positive on the upside potential that RCS could offer longer term, and blah, blah, blah. We anticipate the company will allocate resources to areas with higher imminent margin potential, like big data.
I don't think you need to go any further with that. I think you.
I
think you
want
addressed it.
I want SPT to see that the company is. Now he asks, speaking of data, how is Finger navigating the regulatory challenges in the Chinese market, particularly with regard to data security and
So
financial
let me just tell you this.
regulations?
Let me answer this question. All right. Let me just answer this question and put this stooge to bed. If you haven't figured it out yet, dummy, the finger motion has got great connections into the Chinese government. That's all you need to know. If you haven't figured that out yet, then you're an idiot. The questions you're asking are you're just trying to whatever you're trying to do. That's all you need to know.
My answer to his question is they're navigating it really well. And we'll go on to something else.
They're using Google Maps. That's how they're navigating it. They're tied to the Chinese government.
I thought he was a real questioner, and I think he's a shill. So I'm going to ignore him from now on. I thought at first he was a. Anyway, it got some information out there. Finger is at the head of the class. They're trying to increase their market share of a highly fragmented business in messaging, but they have several other avenues to revenue growth. The most exciting one that's right in front of them is AppleCare. But then they have the big data. Just look up Snow and the insurance companies. I mean, you're getting into.
William, no company could go in there and start a cell phone insurance, division. No company can go into China and start a data business, basically going into the Chinese telecoms. No one can help. No company can go in there and do it the top-up business unless they have ties to the government. So who's our partner in finger motion? You need to be a rocket science to figure out the Chinese government is behind us and allowing this company to grow. For whatever reason, they're allowing this company to become a monster company and become the growth that they want. This company will be a beast and eventually be acquired by who? The telecoms. Right. That's what's going to happen to this company. Once they build up and learn how to make money in all these different avenues, the Chinese government with the telecoms will just buy it and see you later.
Their whole thing is claiming space on the beach for the future revenues in messaging and top-up minutes, in big data, in insurance revenues, in the Netflix of Southeast Asia, whatever that thing is, Zhu technology.
Listen, if you are Merck, they're watching companies build out their medical products, and if it's really good, like GILD, like IMMU, what did they do? They acquired them at the end, right? So they let you build it, and then they paid $88, or I think it was 20-something billion they paid for IMMU, which was a $2.50 stock. How do I know it? I owned it down there. All right, it's right there. So build it.
Yeah, go ahead.
You build it, they'll buy it.
Yeah, absolutely, and they'll pay up because it's cheaper from there, and it's less risk for them to buy it after you built it up.
That William. Yeah. It's cheaper to buy it than build it.
Yes, absolutely. And less risk.
And we heard that from a famous corporate raider many years ago. And I believe his name was Ivan Boesky. He was a corporate raider, very famous guy. And he said in one of his interviews one time, it's cheaper for us to buy it than to build it. So these companies would build up their products and then they acquire them. And if their price is undervalued, for example, Finger right now is being held down by criminals. It's undervalued because we just outlined 30 things of avenues of revenue and to grow the company. What idiot would keep trying to hold it down? It's an idiot that is trapped and has no way out now.
I thought you were going to mention that guy that liked the shave so much he bought the company. I forget that guy. Remember that commercial?
Was it Hacksaw?
I can't remember his name.
There was a guy who used to chop up the companies as a corporate raider. I forgot his name.
Yeah. Here's a perfect observation, which you can talk about. What if Finger had another 25 million in cash? What would the impact be on their top up revenues? It would be a huge positive.
With the top up money, which is that $14 million, I believe that they have.
I agree. Yeah.
It's in a bank account, and it's just like a trading account. So when you trade, they give you leverage. The telecoms give Finger Motion leverage. So Finger Motion may turn over that $14 million 5 times in a day, or maybe 10 times in a day. They buy $14 million worth of minutes at 99 cents. And when they sell it out, they buy another 14 million. And they just keep pressing it and pressing it. If that number was bigger, they could probably turn over, the same time, 10, 12 times a day, but turning over $50 million. Okay, so the revenue would explode in this stock. The margins on that trade are small, but think about it. Imagine buying 10,000 shares of a stock every 2 hours and making a penny.
It was Victor Kayan that bought. That's according to one of your friends, Victor Kayan.
Okay, I don't know that.
That bought the shaving company.
Oh, I don't remember that one. Gillette? Was it Gillette?
No, it's one of those electric razor companies, and he liked it so much he bought the company.
All right.
Anyway, it's before your time.
He must have been a hairy guy.
I'm obviously older than you are.
Yes, I don't know that one. But again, listen, Finger Motion, I got involved for fundamentals. That was my decision, and that was from December 31st, 2018. All right? I got it from fundamentals. It turned into a shit show because of naked shorts, and that's where we are now. My friends, the people that we were buying in the beginning that still own it, believed the stock was worth $100. We always did. But the shit show of naked shorts on top of it, trying to shut it down, putting out fake reports, is now showing you they reared their ugly heads because they're trapped. And that's what we see. And I think it's just a matter of what day they're going to fold. They can keep playing the games. We're going to stick the truck out there in front of the SEC. I'm giving Benzinger a chance to address with Mark Bazile about what they're going to do about this content and who is behind it. We're going to give him a chance. As soon as we get an inkling about what's going on through Mark, we will address the truck. I don't want to throw him under the bus until he has a chance to address what's going on with this report. I think he's going to give up. Okay, I think that he's going to give up and turn on whoever gets submitted that story to save his business. And I think that's what's going to happen. And I think Mark is going to be very excited because he's going to give up Joe Blow, whoever it is. He submitted this thing. Mark will have a name, an address, an email to track down the criminals, and it'll go from there.
If a company gets bought out, do the owners of counterfeit shares get paid off?
No, you lose all your money.
Scott, there's a company that Ham always talks about called Dole Foods. Just Google it. The system settles it up. They settle it up. Maybe
so I'll go back in time. And Busy, why don't you ask Robert Shapiro about Dole Foods and ask him if there was a white paper by the SEC in 1999 where the SEC tried to figure out, this is before Dole Foods, what to do on a corporate takeover, because there aren't many. What happens if a company gets acquired by the CEO and goes private? What happens to the naked shorted shares? The SEC was doing a white paper on that. The head of SEC guy, Morgan Lewis Bacchius, told me and the partner of the firm at the time about this report. We weren't able to get it. and the SEC just scrapped it, put it in the drawer. They had no idea what to do. And they said there's so few corporate deals like that, they didn't worry about it. Well, fast forward to 2017, Dole Foods happened, and look what happens when there's naked shorts. They didn't know what to do. Too many shareholders popped up. That idiot Matt Levine wrote the story and never followed it up with the follow-up story. Instead, Matt Levine followed up that story with naked short selling doesn't exist. And the next day, he got busted because of that guy Sava. He got pinched for naked short selling scheme. So it just shows you that this is one thing that I'm actually good at. I memorize all these stupid facts. And this is something that I tried to teach you, because when I disappear, you guys have this information. 1999, they were doing a white paper, and they couldn't even do the white paper because they just scrubbed it because they didn't know what to do. And who settled all the trades? The depository trust has a slush fund. The slush fund pays for all the naked shorts. The naked shorts in Dole Food was about 13 million shares. At $10 was $130 million. The DTC took that $130 million hit on the chin. In the story by Matt Levine, he said the hedge fund that naked shorted, probably the guy maybe died, went out of business, blah, 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 blah. So they let that guy walk away, selling, 13 million shares of the stock at $10, walk away with 130 million, and no one even looked for him. How's that one? I wish I was that guy. $130 million for nothing.
Yeah.
For selling counterfeit shares. And these guys steal so much on Wall Street. Who owns the DTC? All the brokerage firms. So the brokerage firms took that hit, but they make so much money, $130 million is nothing.
Yep.
Well, it'll be a fourth time.
Are you guys coming from Spain? You coming from Spain? No, okay. I thought they were the Spaniards.
They'll be saying yoo-hoo.
I had to ask. Two guys walking towards my car. I thought maybe it was them.
And they'll be saying it in Spanish. Ole,
Right.
ole.
Oh no, the guy's gonna come out just like one of those dancers. I said, whatever the hell they are. His bullfighter outfit, and the other guy's gonna be dressed like that dancer.
Hey, William, I'm
Yeah.
gonna drop down for a little bit, but I sent you an email. It's a letter that just dropped right now from Senator Craple's office directing it at FINRA. So I emailed it to you. So if you want to talk about
read
that,
it out to everybody, or do you want me to?
if you would like.
William, you're clear. William, you get it. You're clearer than he is. You read it.
All right, I'll read it out.
Thanks, Sam.
What's his name? Busy sounds like he's on the toilet.
No, he's
I'm just
in the cockpit.
Listen, I was in Las Vegas with him. The guy made a lot of trips to the bathroom. That's all I'm saying.
Oh.
All right, talk to you guys later.
All right, thank Busy.
Thank you.
I'm looking it
people
up.
Here is a senator calling out the SEC, calling out FINRA. William always said it. Always says it. What is seen cannot be unseen. The congressmen, the senators are attacking the SEC on the hearing of the hearings, whatever you call it, William. And the SEC, it's on record. No one can get away from this now.
Well,
they can drag their feet, but it's going to be answered.
It's
all right.
Once you see it, you realize that it's pretty simple, and it's stealing, as Wes calls it. And once you see it, you can't let it go. And then it's the follow-on questions. Well, wait a minute. They're doing it in MMTLP. These guys are talking about Finger and GTII and other stuff. Are they doing it in all stocks? What's in our retirement accounts? It's really scary for Wall Street if people just ask basic questions. That's why they ridicule us.
And the cat is out of the bag. And I've been doing this a long time, and the momentum from everybody pushing, rowing the boat the same way, they will collapse. and the low-hanging fruit will be hung first. The Kramers, Alpine, Lynn Partners, Yorkville, Savvy Management, that fat bastard Hal Mintz. These people will be hung by the DOJ, short and distort. I wouldn't be surprised if they get Andrew Left and lock him up because he's been living in fear. He's only destroyed how many companies, him and his friends?
Well, you used to describe to me how a hedge fund guy might fund 10 of these traders with a D and keep 60% of the profit, keep it arm's length, only call me on a landline, on a burner
Well, that's
phone.
what they said. That's what Stevie Cohen was charged for. Stevie Cohen didn't have 60. He probably had 600 guys. If you walked into his office and you said, I want to do this, he goes, listen, I'll lend you, I'll give you, you're allowed to shoot up to $300 million a day leverage, or $200 million or $100 million, depending on who you are. You get 40%, I get 60%. And if you lose this amount, we're kicking you out the door. That's it.
Yeah. And
he didn't care what you do. You were an independent. He was the money behind it, and what you did, he didn't care about.
And if it comes down to between me and Stevie Cohen, between himself and these 600 people, they're going down. He's gonna turn on them.
And that's what Stevie Cohen, he got fined billions of dollars. He gave everybody up and he stopped doing it. He doesn't fund anybody anymore. And that's what's going on here. So,
okay, I'll read this letter. Let me show it to everybody. U.S. Senate, Mike Crapo. I'll read it out. This is to Robert W. Cook on Senate letterhead, FINRA President and CEO. Dear Mr. Cook, I write today to request that the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, FINRA, offer further information on events surrounding the trading halt of Meta Materials A preferred shares, MMTLP. It is important to congressional offices engaged in this matter that FINRA reassures us it has done its due diligence in investigating this matter. As you know, MMTLP shares began trading on the over-the-counter OTC market in 2021. In 2022, the United States Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, approved a Form S-1 and amendments to spin off a portion of the company, Meta Materials, into a new company, NextBridge Hydrocarbons. On December 9, 2022, FINRA issued a trading halt on the company's stock, preventing shareholders from making further trades. In its FAQ, FINRA explains it halted trading on December 9 because securities transactions typically must settle within 2 business days in accordance with SEC rules. Shareholders with settled positions as of December 12, 2022 would be entitled to shares of NextBridge Hydrocarbons. While investors have struggled to gain clarity regarding both the spin-off transaction and the trading halt, they have also alleged wrongdoing, including the existence of counterfeit short sales. I ask that you confirm FINRA is continuing to look into the trading halt for any potential wrongdoing. Furthermore, I ask that FINRA provide responses to the following requests, which have been provided to me directly by Idahoans who invested in MMTLP. 1, provide a concise briefing to congressional offices engaged in this matter from the relevant authorities, either the SEC or FINRA, to provide insight into circumstances around the trading halt for MMTLP. 2, confirm whether the trading halt fell within FINRA's jurisdiction and followed established industry standards. 3, furnish a clearly outlined response detailing the expected course of action for investors' existing holdings. This should be accompanied by a timeline outlining the steps and an estimated timeline for resolutions. 4, deliver an audited and consolidated count of shares held by the investing public relating to metamaterial series preferred A shares on December 9, 2022. Thank you, Senator Mike Crapo.
You realize that people, if you think this is not going to end, you just got given gold. It's right there. Now, you can't make money in MFTLP because it doesn't trade. But whatever's coming out of there, FINRA and the SEC are wetting their pants because now they're being basically served and they want an answer and they have to respond. And everybody on the street will know about it. And they're going to say, well, how do we profit from this thing? Well, you pick your own poison. I know the stocks that I'm following that I know we can profit from it. And if you wait until they basically come out and answer this request, I think it'll be over by then.
He's the ranking member, Ham. He's the ranking member of the Finance Committee. He's on the Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs, and he's on the budget. But he's also...
All right, team. I actually have to get to my son. He's definitely awake. Really appreciate everybody for coming by today. Cryptic. Oh, man. Dude. Restoring the faith. Bro, I mean... the opportunities are for real presented every day here, you guys. You know, we just have to play the markets, I guess systematically, you know, rules-based, process-based, right? And we'll be able to capitalize on these things, you guys. I think it's a good time to be trading, man. You know, as long as you are ambidextrous, we can play the upside and the downside. So we had a long play earlier this morning, and now we had a short play this afternoon, or this later morning session. But yeah, I think we did pretty good here, team. Really appreciate everybody for coming by. Love you guys so much. It's Zeph from Cryptic Trader, Ian Tucker, Mark Roach. Appreciate you guys so much. Abel, thank you, my brother. Really appreciate you. Danielle Spears, we're gonna catch the next one, okay? Daryl, later, my dude. Green Mountain, Cyber, what is up, man? Thank you so much. No, not a problem at all, man. I'm very happy to help. Welby, I'll catch you later too, all right? Double X, love you, my buddy. Rosie Gray Glasses, Jeff Nielsen. Can't remember everybody there, but yeah. All right, you guys. So please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. Never. I need you to do your own due diligence and everything will be cool. But with that said, I wish you well a very, very good rest of your day, and I'll catch you at the bell. Mañana. Adios! Yeah.